Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
Billiken Nation, this is your head coach, Josh Schertz. We want everyone to know SLU is for the Lou, so get your full season tickets now for as low as $125 or experience the excitement up close with 100-level seats for $540 by visiting slubillikens.com today. The 24-25 home schedule is a competitive one, with many teams picking at the top of their respective leagues. Pack Schaefer Arena to show the nation SLU is for the Lou. Buy your tickets now by visiting slubillikens.com.
Why Brown and Krupin? If you hire us, you're going to get great service, you're going to get a great result. We're the winningest, and quite frankly, we're the kindest. A strong voice, an advocate. Why Brown and Krupin? We provide a family. We have the power, the resources, and the ability to do what you need us to do, which is to get every cent that you deserve for the terrible thing that was done to you.
That's why Brown and Krupin. The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I regret not managing my finances better in my 20s and my 30s, and now I see how crucial it is for achieving major life goals. Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and does not provide tax advice.
Hustle and Heart Sports Performance is the one-stop shop for St. Louis area football-specific and athletic training located in O'Fallon, Missouri. Hustle and Heart utilizes the top trainers in St. Louis, led by its owner, 8-year NFL vet Pierre Desir. We have a 40-yard turf field, college-style weight room, red light sauna, and a state-of-the-art recovery room to service all of your athletes' needs. For more info, check out hustleandheartsportsperformance.com or call Dustin at 314-440-8457.
When it comes to coverage, you want the best, on and off the field.
Hi, I'm Marvin Burks. I'm the safety on the field, and I trust James Carlton State Farm to be my safety net off the field.
Thanks, Marvin. Whether it's a game-changing tackle or safeguarding your future, we have you covered. Check us out online at carltoninsurance.net.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling, and I have been a long-time Design Air client. What separates you guys from everybody else?
It's becoming more common for companies to just get their foot in the door. They try to come up with different ways to upsell. They try to see how much they can make off of a customer as opposed to, hey, we're in there to do a service. We're going to do it well. We're going to do it for a fair price.
I don't know how many emails I have received from our listeners who experience the incredible customer service Design Air Heating and Cooling provides. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA all day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown and Krupin Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Krupin. Welcome to the Munganast, St. Louis Acura. Munganast, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Come on in. Wednesdays is always a phone call day.
Yeah.
Baldwin Beer Bitch usually calls in, does about an hour. 636-9004 TMA, Calier and Thompson phone lines. Text in Schaefer Door Company. Text inbox 314-881 TMA5. Email in Design Air Heating and Cooling. Email of the day. Fun to see yesterday. Doug Buck Swope and JV golf coach just deadlocked. Both playing really, really well. But oh my, there's a little rumbling There's a little rumbling in front of the players as they make the turn that on number 15, the ghost of Gangster Pete's hat eagled, and now is starting to make his presence known that he's not done in the month of October. The ghost of Gangster Pete's hat.
Okay, he's going to go at it with Buck Swope, hammer and tong.
I like that.
I don't know who gets the hammer, who gets the tong. I'd rather have a hammer
Yeah, I think so.
than a tong, but that's how they'll be going at it. And it could be ugly here at month's end. I don't like it when people say that. Week's end, month's end. Stop it, Doug.
You're yelling to yourself.
Yeah.
Doggy season ticket holder is in the YouTube chat and says, "Morning, y'all. Happy hump day. Celebrate properly." Doggy season ticket holder.
All right, there's another positive affirmation that we're starting to get. It's not just Jake Reynolds. People are really starting to turn the corner on this.
Yeah, they're starting to believe.
A little more optimistic tone now.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, for so long, they would immediately start giving us the business. And it was hurtful.
Do you want to lead with the wins per game, winning every game?
Okay, they win all their games.
LeBron and Bronny and the Griffies and history.
Well, I didn't see the LeBron thing. I guess we turned that over to Jackson.
Let's start with wins per game. I'm not looking to get yelled at this early in the morning.
Okay. Well, they took our measure. Doggone it, a 3-goal outburst, and they took our measure.
And the best part is the Blues had a 2-goal deficit.
It is.
So therefore they should have won because they were losing by 2.
Saad could get a couple, but he couldn't get any more.
Doug, golden opportunity, a glorious scoring chance with 40 seconds left. Schenner, eh?
Bouncing puck, he couldn't get a stick on it. The net was wide open.
Doggone it. Yawning mouth.
Now we've fallen into 5th place already. We're in 5th place. This wins per game bunch, they're tough.
1.0 wins per game.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's impressive.
John Mellencamp was at the Big Noon kickoff in Bloomington last weekend. It's from the 314.
Okay, we're going to get back into that discourse. You're really, really upset about John Cougar Mellencamp.
No, I'm not upset at all.
You don't want him anywhere near that football stadium.
I like this, that the Hoosiers are playing really good football. And still a little scorn from 2014 when Mizzou went up to Bloomington and the Hoosiers took their measure.
Yeah,
but
that didn't happen.
Was it at Mizzou?
Aye.
For whatever reason, I remember it being at Indiana. Well, memories are funny.
Yeah.
But I'm excited that they're good. I like Kurt Signetti a lot. I hope they keep running the table. I hope they upend.
Google me.
Yeah, I hope they upend the Big Ten and make everything really weird and create chaos in the college football playoff, even if it means, obviously Mizzou is kind of a long shot at where they are right now. But even if that means messing up with Mizzou, I think it's still cool. I just didn't know if John Mellencamp would get the people going. Clearly he will. So good for him.
So he was there last week. He's there again this week? Is that the deal?
Yeah, it seems like it. Seems like he doesn't miss a game. Seems like that's their guy.
Well, maybe he's a big fan.
I respect it. If I was like him and had been famous for as long as him, probably got a lot of money, and you just get to hang out and watch your favorite team, your school play football, and they're
But
good.
you would like
Awesome.
to see him excluded?
And why?
No. I'm just curious on what the process was. Who else was asked? I know they'll never release that, but I'd be curious.
Yeah.
I am meeting myself coming and going these days, and your show is an oddly stabilizing force at the moment. I'm not sure what that says about me. It's from caller Ellen.
Huh.
That's nice.
That was an introspective text into the Schaefer Door Company text inbox.
If this is a stabilizing force, sister, you got some issues. It doesn't feel that stable to me. But I hope everything's okay with Hill.
Hi, guys. What will trigger Jackson today? That's from the Hunchback of Vaughan Castle. Jackson, are you
Only
giving out?
time will tell. The real Take Smith's paradise today. So.
The text above that one is from a former fan page moderator, and you hate to see former occupants of the fan page Oval Office go at it. Speaking of memories, I remember when Jackson wasn't an uppity little bitch. That's from former fan page moderator Neil Allen Craig Paul. And you guys would spend time at the fan page's Camp David.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine? Where would you put the fan page Camp David? Herculaneum?
Oh, so many great choices.
Either way, that's not a very nice thing to say, Neil Allen Craig Paquette. Let's work on that.
Is Camp David where old people that work here go now? Like producer Joe hangs out at Camp David? TMA Camp David?
Yeah, with Stedman.
Yeah.
Stedman hasn't talked since he moved in.
And
just
Donnie
plays
Most.
drops.
Yeah.
Donnie Most, evil David Letterman's there.
They just relax and vacation there?
Weezer's topless. TMA Afterlife.
I didn't even know it existed.
The pearly gates.
Total package, sending a message to caller Ellen, hit me up, girl. So he is he is now seeing an opening, I guess.
Someone sees a weakness.
That didn't happen.
Crack in the facade. Go ahead, Iggy.
I just said that ain't happening.
Oh, okay. Well, he's trying. He extended an olive branch, helping hand.
Well, wait for that phone call.
Oh, gosh.
Guys, there's lots of tripping at Camp David. That's from Jugs in D.C. Is that true?
I
can't imagine.
So. I doubt it's ever happened.
Yeah, I wonder.
I mean,
can we say it? Never. I think I tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
That's where you go to have meetings with political leaders. You think Putin's wife and Clinton's wife ever hooked up?
No. I don't even want to imagine that.
I've never seen Putin's wife. Has he been married?
I'm not sure. That's crowdsourcing, my friend. I don't know. I assume that he is.
Jackson doesn't have any seed left after watching Tatum. Doug, you see the Knicks and you see the Celtics.
All right. Tatum at 37.
Mm-hmm. 8 for 11 from behind the arc.
Mm-hmm. Boy, he's awfully good.
Celtics are awfully good. Yeah. Holy hell. They're a wagon. And with no Kristaps either.
No, what do you mean they're a wagon?
You like that?
No.
It's going to be a lot to handle.
What do you mean they're a wagon?
Listen, you miss your last 13 3-pointers and you still shoot 47.5% from behind the arc. That's crazy.
They missed 13 in a row?
At the end to set the record for most in the game.
And that makes them a wagon?
Wagon season.
But I'm saying when you miss 13 in a row and still shoot 47.5% from behind the arc, that's crazy.
Not many wagons miss 13 straight.
That's why. Okay, you're not.
I understand what you're saying.
Doesn't seem like you are.
I'm not sure they're a wagon if you can miss 13 in a row. Yes, you still shot 47%. It meant you hit a lot earlier in the game, but you missed them all at the end.
Right, en route to a 20-point win.
Okay, that's not very much. So what makes a team a wagon?
Offensively and defensively, they're one of the best teams in the NBA.
But how does the word wagon figure into that?
I don't know. I get it from the texters. Can I take a break from my co-hosts? Just slang for a really good team.
Okay, I'd not heard that. That's why I'm bringing it up.
I don't know I keep messing up this. I think it's etymology, like the origin of the word. Like I don't know how it was formed.
Okay, I just never heard it.
Okay.
The teams used to be a juggernaut or a powerhouse.
Is that the same as a wagon?
Synonyms.
There you go, Doug.
Synonyms.
Okay, I just don't get the wagon thing.
Bob Wagon. We had a guy named Bob Wagon.
Yeah,
I like him.
Named after him.
He texts into the program.
I like Bob Wagon.
Doug, breaking news this morning for the Missouri Chiefs. DeAndre Hopkins on his way.
From Tennessee to Kansas City. Right? They needed a wide receiver?
Badly.
Yeah.
So why do teams give the Chiefs exactly what they want? If you won 2 Super Bowls in a row and might be a favorite to win a third, why do you give them what they want?
Titans aren't doing much this year, likely. Get some draft picks from a team that desperately needs a wide receiver. Seems mutually beneficial.
I don't know.
Doug, I got sense you just were talked down to.
I don't.
Really
well,
was.
I mean,
first it's wagon and now this. I get it enough from the texters. I don't need it from my co-host.
There you go. Now you're getting somewhere.
I would just be hesitant to keep making the best team better, no matter who I was.
Like some sort of pact with all the other teams. We will not trade with the Chiefs.
Well, like in baseball, teams generally don't trade with teams within their division. And I wouldn't think there's very many teams looking to make the Chiefs any better than they are now.
Titans probably aren't going to be threatening for much. That's probably their reason. They've got a wonderful quarterback, though.
Mm. He likes mayonnaise in his coffee. What do you think about that?
In his coffee?
Yeah, Will Levis. He likes to put mayo in his coffee.
How much mayo? Just a dollop?
Ooh, dollop.
Don't you think even trace amounts is pretty vile?
Well, I like mayonnaise on my peanut butter sandwiches.
Sure, but you don't drink coffee.
No.
You ever thought that you wanted to do a mayo commercial? How about that Will Levis?
Because he puts in his coffee.
But, I mean, it's a major company. Will Levis is their spokesperson.
Is he on a commercial now? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, mayonnaise commercial.
Bill's mayonnaise.
Well, I haven't seen the commercial. Maybe it'll become a thing. I'm sure some people will try it now. You guys aren't coffee drinkers, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Iggy
I
is.
pound in the morning. It's my favorite thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
Yeah.
Love coffee.
Have you thought about putting mayonnaise in there?
Nope. I drink it straight black.
Yeah, usually I drink it black. Occasionally I'll throw some cream in there, but never mayonnaise.
No.
Never anything like funky. Nothing out of the realm of normal.
Okay.
Diaper Boy needs to put some respect on Doug's name. Disappointed in Ladue Boy. That's from Stan the Caddy.
All right, any take Doug has, I'll agree with it, and I'll kneel to the altar of Vaughn.
To the altar.
And that's what the Funhouse account says Colin Cowherd has going with what he calls Little Buddy.
Yeah, well, he sits up like a pharmacist, 15 feet above everyone else.
And Colin Cowherd has a guy who does the show with him who's called Little Buddy, and he just agrees with Colin and encourages him to say more.
And he gets that. He gets like a middle school desk, and it's just like a black linoleum floor, like 20 feet of it between them. It's really odd.
No, that sounds good to me. I'd like that kind
Like it looks like Cowherd needs a ladder to get up to his spot. And his little buddy gets like patio furniture. It's a fun dynamic.
Dan Patrick has it. He sits at a desk, and all of his minions sit in cubicles across from him.
Yeah. Well, it's working for them. Maybe we need to start something like that here.
I like pumpkin spice because I'm a basic bitch. That's from Sex.
Oh, is it really?
Speaking of all that, I like the way McAfee does it, where it seems like he's sitting like a judge's seat, and all of his producers are like the jurors. Like they're all in like a bullpen just off to the right.
He stands up a lot, though.
Only. He's exclusively. Yeah. But he puts a mic down low, and it's just such a fake. Like, that's like, there's no way that mic's on, because he's standing 3 feet above it.
Boy, that guy's got some energy.
The travel alone, he does.
Yeah.
All those guys, all that travel, all those college broadcasters, their travel schedules must be crazy.
God, I love being inside a Kai. Signing him up to get a reconstructed hole, though. Getting a little wide in there. As IRC Eric says, tighten up, piggy.
Oh, gosh, no. No, we didn't need that. Certainly Kai didn't either.
Wreck me, Doug.
I thought it was Ruin Me. We have Ruin Me and Wreck Me.
Ruin Me.
Oh, there it was.
Is that Burke?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
I like my men like I like my coffee. Piping hot and spraying all over Doug's khakis.
No,
it's from Junior the
who was
Juice
it?
Man. Junior the Juice Man's going away.
Junior the Juice Man, you're going away, and you've been put on notice. You're going away for a period of 2 days' time in the Illinois Recovery Center.com suspension logule, and you've been put on notice. And should this kind of behavior continue, you'll be punished further. What did you say his name was? Juice Man?
Yeah, Junior.
Junior Juice Man.
Junior Thaw.
Junior Juice Man. Okay. All right. That won't feel very good.
Iggy's disdain for Dan Patrick is so odd. That's from Tracy Woodson. Iggy, you don't like Dan Patrick?
Love Dan Patrick.
Okay, there you go. Tracy Woodson, the action's back on you.
Put that to bed. I don't care much for his producer, but I like Dan Patrick.
Oh, there was the
He's
angle.
got a handful of them.
Well,
McLovin? You don't like McLovin?
His former producer.
No, his main one is Paul Pabst.
Why don't you like him? He got your job?
No, he's kind of arrogant.
How do you get to know him? To know that he's arrogant?
He's another guy I helped out and gave me no credit.
Oh, you've been wronged again.
Well, there was a couple of weeks span that I lined up almost every guest on Dan Patrick's show. I don't know why the Cardinals were a big topic on Patrick's show, but he's calling me for numbers, and I'm giving him numbers. And
This is Pabst we're talking about.
Pabst. Yeah. To the point where I went up for my interview and went into Dan Patrick's studio, and he goes, "Oh, this is the infamous Kenny Strode." He goes, "You line up most of our show for the last 3 weeks, haven't you?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "We should just hire him." Taking a shot at Pabst.
Yeah.
But it's not hard to produce that show. Hi, can you come on with Dan Patrick? Sure. Me, can you come on with Johnny Johnson? Who?
Everyone will tell you, we have to get better at teasing.
There was the producer with Dan Patrick that you didn't like.
Well, he said he was the lead producer. He wasn't. He was one of four.
Oh. Okay. And you got these guys their jobs and they didn't respect you for it?
Not their jobs. A lot of their guests.
Today, I'm excited to share with you a conversation I conducted with Frank Frangie.
Did you line up Frangie?
That's what you get when you're Jason Barrett. If you're Dan Patrick, you get big names.
Okay.
Rich Eisen, big names.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Sparky Pfeiffer,
big name.
Big one. Jim Rome, big names.
We have yet to be able to get Sparky Pfeiffer on this show. What would we even talk with him about? What's he famous for?
Teasing. If we asked him? We had a one day just line up Sparky Pfeiffer,
I just
Frank
like the
Frangie.
name. You have to be a nice guy if your name is Sparky Pfeiffer, don't you?
You got to be a little pepper pot, probably.
Yeah.
A little Banty Rooster, maybe.
More producing legend talk. Have a great day, boys. I'm out. Mr. 63011 taking his fast golf cart, and he's going to go somewhere else.
God, was that thing fast.
You took the governor off.
Somebody brought up Dan Patrick that I didn't like him, and I explained why I like Dan Patrick. I don't like his producer.
Pabst had
Doug asked me why I don't like his producer. I explained. That's usually what you do on a show. When somebody asks a question, you answer it.
Okay.
Mr. 63011, you can call in 636-9004 at Calier and Thompson phone lines. Munganess is the sponsor of this 7 o'clock hour, Doug. StLouisAcura.com and AltonToyota.com. Hello, Jamie Burkhardt. Hello, Peter Munganess. How are you? You're running a wonderful dealership or two, I'd tell you.
Really?
Online at StLouisAcura.com and AltonToyota.com, and then you can use the secret number to text or call them that is set up for our listeners, 314-252-0029. It's Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, official automotive provider of TMA, and the Tim McKernan Show podcast, presenting sponsor of Balloon Party, and the place that I go to get my cars, my family goes to get their cars. It's Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, StLouisAcura.com and AltonToyota.com. Doug, those phone lines are lighting up.
Well,
probably Mr. 63011's calling in right now.
I don't see him lit up yet.
In their Calier and Thompson phone lines.
Okay. They sure are. Calier and Thompson. While we were waiting for the phone to ring, we could be having our house redone with Calier and Thompson. It's man cave time in football season here, and you're probably going to want to spend a lot of time in your man cave if you have one. If you don't have one, let Calier and Thompson build one for you. Ooh, you'd like that. Or if you have one now, let them redo it, make it better. That's what they do. They can do man caves. They can do kitchens, of course, bathrooms, basements, wine rooms, bars, accent rooms, fireplace walls, offices, you name it. They can redo any area of your house and make it look like a showplace. It's a great investment of your home to take care of it. Maybe you don't want to go through the hassle of moving, but your house is tired and outdated. Calier and Thompson is there to help you through it. They've been in business since the 1950s. Their employees have more than 160 years of experience now. The owners, Carolyn Beard and Bob Strati, have been around for more than 20 years. They got a crew of designers and installers and contractors. They hire only the best people. A lot of their people have been with them for many, many years. They're just simply the best in St. Louis at what they do. Calier and Thompson is on Manchester in Baldwin. It's out there by Uncle Bill's Pancake House. You ought to go by their design showroom. They got more than 10,000 square feet of kitchen displays, bathroom displays. You can see what they have. You can see what the latest things are. Some of the top name appliances is what they sell. Bosch, Thermador, Wolf, Sub-Zero, you name it. Top of the line stuff, Calier and Thompson. They'll do the best work for you if you're looking to rehab your house. Come home to quality online at CalierandThompson.com.
Get involved on the program. Those Calier and Thompson phone lines are waiting for Mr. 63011. 636-9004 TMA. Text in Schaefer Door Company. Text inbox, email in Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. It is TMA, presented to you by Brown and Krupin. All right, Doug, where do you want to go here? I mean, Blues losing the wins per game.
Yeah.
Fernando Valenzuela, who pitched with the Cardinals in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what he's known most for.
Probably not.
Passed away last evening.
Right, he was only 63.
63 years old.
Yeah, they didn't give the cause of death, but he did miss the end of the baseball season for health reasons.
That's correct. And we got sound from Alabama fans getting ready for the game. Do you want to hear?
Okay, if that's where we're going to go, let's hear Alabama. Libby Jack,
Really?
you got Alabama?
Yeah. Let me hear it. What you think about the game yesterday?
I was disappointed. Alabama ain't playing Alabama football.
They're not.
They got to get together and get on the same page. Everybody's got to click together.
Yep. Everybody got to get in sync.
Got to get it together and everybody got to do their job.
Yep.
Defense done a whole lot better this week than they did last week, but the offense ain't showed me much.
Offense ain't hitting on all four
Ain't
cylinders.
hitting on all cylinders. But everybody need to figure out what's going on. Let's get everything straightened out. And because we got a great football team, we got good coaches, we got good players. Everybody needs to get together. Let's get on the same page, and let's go out there and do it for the Tide. We love the Tide. Roll, Tide, roll.
Don't give
Give a piss about nothing but the stuff. Blitz, Bama, blitz.
So,
Roll Tide.
you heard it right there.
Now, that was the president of the University of Alabama?
Yeah. Chancellor.
Is that who it was?
What's that? Alabama Blit? Bama Blit?
Bama, blitz.
What does that mean,
I
Doug?
think he's trying to say blitz, but I don't think he's pronounced any of the last syllable of any of those
Well, you
words.
need some teeth to be able to speak properly.
Blitz, Bama, blitz.
Where does an accent come from?
Where does an accent come from?
I know it's certain areas, but I don't know. Just because you're a little further south, you don't talk like everybody else. You're a little further north, you don't talk like everybody else. You're in Australia, you don't talk like everybody else. Where does the accent come from?
It comes from the culture that grew up there, that evolved there.
I don't know. We all got one voice. You'd think they'd all come out the same.
We all have one voice, but we live in different places, and we're influenced by.
But because you live in a different place doesn't mean you should sound different. I mean, you do, but I don't know how that happens.
Well, I just explained it to you. It evolves. A certain area evolves, and people speak a certain way, and you pick up on that type of language.
I know that, but I don't know how it all started. Just because you live south in Alabama, you're gonna talk like this, and then up here we just talk like this. I don't get how.
Well, just even in St. Louis, if you live in the city of St. Louis, there's a good chance you speak a little different than if you live in the county. It's just what you're surrounded by.
I don't know why. You just wake up one morning, maybe somebody down the street in Alabama has their parents, "Hi, John, ready to go to school?" And a couple blocks down, "Hi, John, ready to go to school?"
No, your parents
How is
probably
it different?
Your parents probably talk that way.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're speaking like your parents talked. How your neighbors talk.
I'd like to know the origin of accents.
636-9004-TMA, Calier and Thompson phone lines. We will take a call. Or two, for that matter.
Origins of accents.
Because that guy you can barely understand.
Iggy, you have the worst St. Louis accent I've ever heard. Please do not go down this particular alleyway, gentlemen. That's from Nate in Tallahassee. The Tallahassee accent, Doug, are you familiar with it? I know you were in South Florida, but probably not up in Tallahassee all that often.
No, just a couple times. I didn't notice anything different in Tallahassee. A little more of the old South in Miami. In St. Louis, we tend to say things like Washington, D.C., and wash your clothes. North St. Louis, Highway 45.
Yeah, but that's just pronunciation. It's not really an accent.
That's exactly what it is. It's an accent. That's what an accent is pronouncing words differently.
Fun with sociolinguistics?
Nice.
Nice. Very
I like
nice.
that a lot.
Oh, brother.
We're not talking accents. We're talking college football. Quit hijacking and shut it. John Lithgow's Harry Henderson has lost his mind right at 7:30.
Well, we weren't talking college football. We were listening to a couple of yahoos talk about football.
They weren't
in Alabama.
yahoos. They were University of Alabama administration officials.
It looked like they were in a gorgeous home. Oh, nice back patio on a golf course.
It did look like maybe a little dog leg left.
It looked nice.
Could it have been an act, you think?
Roll Tide Willie has been doing this for a good long while. His famous saying is, "I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide."
They just found one guy from the backwoods and said, "Here, you represent Alabama."
That's the magic of TikTok, man. You turn a camera on, you can be big star.
This has to be the worst show in the world. That's from Tracy Woodson. Doug, do you think it is?
No one's arguing that.
It's the worst show on this station right now.
It could be submitted,
Yeah.
but after that, that's in the judge's hands.
Is Stingray stop talking football, or is he now just a meteorologist?
Doug?
I don't. That's another crowd source. I don't know. I don't.
He went to meteorology school, and he said he graduated, but he's still just like posting weather updates on his Facebook page. I don't know if he's actually working anywhere.
I always enjoyed it when we had him on.
Yeah, I haven't seen any football stuff in a while, any
No.
SEC stuff from him.
No. And didn't he switch schools? He was like Mississippi State for a while, and he switched to somebody else?
I think he...
I thought he was at Mississippi State.
He's got some tie to Alabama, but then he went to Mississippi State.
Yeah.
He became a Mizzou fan for like a week.
He did.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed his little skit.
All right, give me that hand.
How about the Gamecock? I missed that one.
That was his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eddie?
I think it was Eddie.
Cousin Eddie.
Burying his damn Gamecock. Whoever said this is the worst show in the world clearly never heard a program called Pepper and Genie. It's from Crestwood Coyote.
Pepper and Genie was awesome.
Exactly.
Bad take. Bad take.
It was critically acclaimed.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, it went, 10 months, and we never got kicked off the air. We just quit.
I'm burying this damn Gamecock.
There it is right there. Is it better to quit or to get let go of a show after 10 months?
No, quit.
I suppose quitting is better.
If you don't let go, then there's one of two things. They think it's a good show or they don't even know it's on the air.
Did you ever get any money?
Probably the latter.
Did you get any money at all for that show?
No.
You just talked.
Well, I made it 10 minutes longer today than yesterday until Accent 101 talk came up. Maybe tomorrow, guys. I'm out. That's Mr. Bojangles. He's gone.
Why do you keep coming back? Just go and stay going. I like that song, though.
Loobster is disputing the 10 months of Pepper and Genie.
I think it was that long, wasn't it?
With a question mark, exclamation point, a question mark, an exclamation mark, question mark, and then he says, no chance.
I mean, I was just guessing.
Maybe 10 shows.
I thought it went almost a year.
Did you do more than 10 shows?
Oh, of course.
What did you?
Looks like there's episodes starting in. God, I just opened up a random episode, and the description is when and who to tip. And it's like a 6-minute audio file.
The show was 6
that was
minutes?
in May, and then there seemed to be a revival later that December.
7 months. Whatever.
Heck of a program, though.
I ride for Pepper and Genie. Whoever said it sucked can suck root. That's from Jeff.
That was a great little palate cleanser, a little lemon sorbet after 3 hours of TMA. Just taking a little bit of Pepper and Genie.
Take the edge off.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it's like port.
We actually did a 6-minute show.
I don't even think that's the record. I think there might have been a shorter audio file uploaded.
On who to tip and who not to tip.
I remember I tweeted out one description of one of the episodes was just said, "We have nothing."
This show's like a bad relationship. We have nothing in common, but the sex is great. That's from former fan page moderator Neil Allen Craig Bouquet.
Okay. What is he doing in retirement? What do old moderators do?
They go to Camp David.
Camp David.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was just like a weekend getaway. I didn't realize that was a lifestyle.
Yeah.
He moderates Camp David now.
Okay.
Did Eisenhower start that?
Carter.
I think
Right? Carter.
Camp David? I think it goes back farther than Carter.
Does it?
I thought it was Jimmy Carter.
No, it was before that. I thought it was Eisenhower. Could be wrong.
I don't know.
I think I'm watching a great documentary I think you would love.
What?
It's a history of World War II, but it's in the front lines.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of great footage that has never been seen before. And it just goes through all the different parts of the war, the battles in Asia and in Germany and Poland. And pretty interesting. You may like it.
What's it called?
It's called World War II from the Front Lines.
Oh.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
I think it's like six episodes.
I'll check that out.
Camp David was started by FDR, but they called it Shangri-La. And then Eisenhower changed it to Camp David in 1953.
David after his son?
I don't know what the... Oh, yes, in honor of his father and his grandson, both named David.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's nice to get that cleared up. But we still don't have a location for our own Camp David.
Herculaneum.
For ex-TMA employees.
Anywhere south of the Arnold Water Tower.
Down there by Kimswick? Somewhere in Kimswick?
It's Kimswick.
Sure.
So they can be there for the Apple Butter Festival?
Just drive south until you can't drive south no more. The wheels fall off. That's when you reach TMA Camp David.
Guys, Pepper and Genie was basically Ken's way of indirectly calling out and lightly threatening people who had wronged him on Facebook or the fan page. That's from glove blogger Tom Traven. Iggy, do you feel like that's a fair representation of what
I don't
Pepper and
believe
Genie...
so. I think we had topics every week. One of them, I don't believe any of our topics where I'm going off on people on Facebook.
How often are you wronged on Facebook?
Well, I don't know what you define wronged. I mean, Facebook in general, no. Sure, on the fan page, but not on just general Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of people trashing me on there. At least not that I see.
Just the term, I was wronged. I like that. You didn't have any incidents last night, I hope. Online?
On Facebook?
Yeah, you weren't wrong last night online, I hope.
No, I don't think I was online much last night.
Okay.
I was watching the documentary.
Okay, that's good.
Damn pay.
went back and watched some of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, which is, God, because it's a joke.
Oh, no. Now who's got you upset that they got in?
Well, I'm not going to talk about it because I don't think anybody's seen it.
Okay.
It was streaming on Disney. I think they also put it on Max or Showtime. Once it's done, they put it up. But yeah, all I'll say is when I think of Foreigner, I think of Demi Lovato. That's what I do.
Okay. What does that mean exactly?
It means that she has no business being there. The problem is you put all these bands in that don't even have any members alive anymore, and you got to find somebody to sing, but I wouldn't think one of the very good rock bands of all time has Demi Lovato, and she didn't even know the words, and she wasn't singing the notes right. And
so you were kind of wrong that way then.
And Jelly Roll, who I like, he was singing an Ozzy Osbourne song and wasn't singing it right.
Well, that's disappointing too.
Yeah, they have Klein up there.
Yeah.
The Cranberries ever get into the Hall of Fame.
Now that's a pure vocalist there.
Classically trained.
Yeah. Just kind of a smooth baritone.
Yeah, that would be funny. The Cranberries get elected, and since Dolores isn't with us anymore, Klein gets up there and sings.
He'd have to get loaded. He was plastered that day. But boy, who knew he could warble? Yeah, okay, I guess no one.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I know.
Another terrible induction.
Oh, gosh. Well, why do you watch if it just makes you so angry?
Well, there are people on there I wanted to see, but some people I didn't want to see.
Okay, let's focus on the positive. What was good about it?
Dua Lipa was up there singing.
Oh, gosh.
And Cher, who said, I'm not going into that crap Hall of Fame, and then she goes in.
Okay, maybe don't watch it if it makes you upset.
It's music, so I give it a shot.
Okay. Left a sour taste in your mouth, though, I can tell.
No, it just wasn't a good induction. It wasn't. Okay. The bands were all right, but I liked it the year that Cure went in. The Cure went in with Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks sang herself. Cure sang themselves. These bands that get in, they sing themselves. Not put people in and they can't sing anymore. So you just put all these people up there to sing for them, and it's just not good.
Very disappointing. All right. Well, maybe the Blues will bounce back.
It's going to be tough. They're on the road for quite a bit of time now against some powerful Canadian blue bloods.
I guess they got to clear out the Enterprise Center for some concerts. I think you said Jelly Roll. He's there tomorrow night, I think.
Yeah, I believe Usher is playing Enterprise Center.
But you go Usher or Ursher?
Usher. Am I supposed to say Ursher?
That would be accurate. Ursher is better.
Why?
Just, come on.
There's no R in it.
Get with it or get lost, Vaughn.
There's no R in the word.
You can say either. Only for you, though, Doug.
Who says Ursher?
Ursher says Ursher.
He does? Mm-hmm. Well, why didn't he put an R in his name then?
Hey,
There's your answer.
That's not much of an answer.
Well, listen, Doug, I'm focused on the Maple Leafs.
I guess if Krzyzewski can pronounce his name Krzyzewski with the way that's spelled, you can pronounce your name any way you want.
That's right. Doog. You could be Doog if you want.
Good.
Tim, developing situation with Cairo, 0 goals in the last 6 games. Problem. That's from Harrison's brother, Master. He's been wanting Cairo out for a while. We'll find out what Jeremy Rutherford thinks. He's going to be with us at 9 o'clock, brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies.
He's had some good chances.
Yep.
He's had some assists. He's been buzzing around the cage, Timmy.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to see him have more sandpaper in his game.
Like Foxa.
But he's been active, had some chances.
You excited about the Neighbors extension?
Yeah, a 2-year extension. He would have been unrestricted at the end of the year. So
offer sheet season.
Right, you got to wrap him up.
Yeah, everybody's protected against the offer sheet now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you got to stave off the offer sheet.
Right. Were you excited about it, Jackson, to see Neighbors?
Jackson broke the story on 101 yesterday.
You did.
Yeah. If you were listening to 101 yesterday, you first heard the Neighbors extension out of my mouth.
You made some phone calls and got it nailed down with the agents?
Yeah. I read Jeremy Rutherford's tweet in a timely fashion.
Oh, okay.
But still, someone has to relay the message to the people.
Right. Yeah.
Well, if you're not on Twitter at the time, if you're driving your car,
you
there I was.
Yeah. Okay, Scoop Burkett.
Feels like a good deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know relative to scale there, but
Man, you guys are floundering today. Might be prudent to just end the show at 8 and then try again tomorrow. That's from Kwame Voyukas IV. He wants us to shut the show down
We
at
always
8.
flounder.
Have you ever broken a story? Either of you guys?
I have. Totally by accident. And it was only because of Josh the Bat Boy.
Josh the Bat Boy.
Or as Walter Kachuk called him, the Batman. Keith Kachuk had a real problem with what he felt like was a gentleman hovering around the age of 30 being a bad boy and would scream at him after he'd had a few libations from his seats at Busch Stadium. But I was down there working with you at KMOV, as a matter of fact, at Busch Stadium. Was I think it was actually after July 31st, and it was the non-waiver trade deadline. And I believe Josh the Bat Boy came out, and I was getting ready to go live for KMOV, and he said, "Hey, we just traded for Larry Walker." And I go, "Larry Walker? The hell's that possible?" I said, "The trade deadline was," he goes, "I don't know, but I saw Buddy Bates, remember him? He was the equipment guy, making his uniform. Was he number 33, I think?"
Sounds right.
And so I don't know. I feel like I went in and I saw La Russa and I asked him about it, and he didn't say yes, but he didn't say no. But the way he answered it was enough for me to feel like, okay, that there's something there. I think I might have talked to Buddy Bates. I don't know. Either way, went with it. I was going live right next to Frank Cusimano. He was live for KSTK. I'm live for KMOV, and to be really fully transparent, I couldn't care any less if Frank was breaking the story next to me and I was doing a story on, here's some video from John Jay from 2012 or something like that.
Yeah, big story.
But I think Frank was a little concerned that he didn't have the story, and he heard me breaking that Larry Walker, future Hall of Famer, was on his way to join a Cardinal lineup that already, Doug, featured the MV3. And we're not even including Reggie Sanders or Edgar Renteria or Tony Womack.
Fernando Vina on that team?
Fernando Vina was not on the 04 Cardinals.
Well, who was the second sacker? Womack?
Womack. Yeah.
Okay.
So they were stacked as it was.
Yeah.
Chris Carpenter hadn't gotten hurt yet. Team was soaring, and now you add Larry Walker to it. How do you do?
Well, I'm fine, thanks.
So that was it. Oh, and then Rick Majerus, I guess, coming to the Billikens in 2007. And I think that's the last one consciously I did. I actually thought I was leaving St. Louis at the time and moving to SNY in New York City. And that was at the time where we were doing the show, but it was me and Bob Fesco, and I was trying to get out of my deal at KFNS and move to New York. And a friend of mine, who I guess is involved with the Billikens, texted me and said, "Hey, they're hiring Rick Majerus." And I knew that this person was absolutely connected. And I don't even know why. I mean, for real, like the moment after I reported it, I was like, why did I even bother? Because I know Billiken fans tend to be a little older. They absolutely hate me. My God, of all the fan bases, I think that's the one that probably hates me the most because I represent like the complete opposite of what they value. And so the fact that I was breaking it and not Frank, or who else would be Ramsey maybe, but Ramsey probably wouldn't be in a spot where he could say it. So automatically then it just led to getting crap for a week or so until it actually wound up happening. But I guess they knew it was going to happen. They just had to negotiate whatever. I don't know if he went directly from Utah, if he'd been out of the game for a while. Do you remember?
I thought he was doing TV work.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
With Reese Davis.
Oh, really?
I think so, because I remember him saying that.
He's doing College Game Day.
Something like that, some basketball show.
With Mellencamp?
With John Cougar Mellencamp. So those are my two. But the juice is not worth the squeeze on breaking stories.
No, especially with a team that you cover on a daily basis. Because if you miss that, if you miss it and get that wrong, then you're really sunk.
Well, as it goes on now, reporters, probably more, I don't know if print is the right term, digital, are told things. And it's kind of a currency. I'll give you this, but you're going to give me this. It's kind of like, all right, it's like an alliance in Survivor. We're now part of the same corrupt code. So I'll leak this to you, but when the time comes, I need you to write or say good things about me. But like Bernie Miklasz, who, I mean, God, over the last 40 years in St. Louis, who's got a better track record of, sports journalism, really, for that sustained period of time, going back to the 80s to present day. And he still gets the Matt Painter thing thrown in his face. There's not a doubt in my mind that he had something. He's too much of a professional to just go like running to Twitter to try to get, be that guy. So I don't know what happened. Sucks that it did, but Missouri clearly was about to hire Matt Painter in 2012. Something went awry, and they wound up with Frank Haith, which wound up being great. I mean, it was huge.
He committed hate crimes.
It's good for 1 year.
With Mike Anderson's players, and then I think he's told the story, so I don't believe I'm speaking out of school, but I think he was having dinner with Roger Goodell at St. Elmo's, the steakhouse. You ever eat at that? Right across from Indianapolis. Oh, really? I'm surprised with all the trips to Indianapolis.
Not even there.
And Goodell said, you don't have to worry about the Rams moving from St. Louis, not going to let that happen. And so that's why I think he was always on, they're not going to move. And that became when people would, like Ray Hartman, for example. I think eventually Strauss and Burwell would write that there is something to worry about. Then that's when Bernie would call them Chicken Littles, and then that became a little thing. But point being, breaking stories, unless you're like a Schefter, a Shams, a Passon, a Rosenthal, where that is actually the gig to break stories. It's a high risk maneuver. I bet you got a good one, and it was Earl Weaver.
No, I guess my best would be Muhammad Ali.
Holy crap!
Going to be able to fight Larry Holmes when he went to Rochester, Minnesota to get checked out.
Yeah, we put that video up on the TMA
Oh, that's
Twitter.
right.
Yeah.
You can go back to the TMA STL Twitter and watch that video.
That's right.
Just played little bits of that in other parts of the world. Actually.
You know what? I'm going to go retweet that from when we
you don't have to
posted
do
that. Well, I think it's cool, and people want to see it right now because they're hearing it and they want to see the visuals. So I'm going to retweet it.
I beat the other 0 stations in Rochester, Minnesota for that story.
You had the monopoly.
We were the only TV station,
I probably broke the worst story the way I broke it. I was doing updates at the time. And actually, we actually did sports updates every hour. And Eddie Elias, who a lot of people aren't familiar with, but had a lot to do with ABC, and he started the Pro Bowlers Tour. Got them on ABC prior to Wild World of Sports. And he had been sick for a while. He was in the hospital. And Bo, Nelson Burton, called me and said, "Yeah, it's got some bad news. The family's going to turn off life support this afternoon." So I actually I don't know how I worded it. I worded it so bad. I said, and bowling news, the founder and president and longtime CEO of the Pro Bowlers Tour, Eddie Elias, is going to pass away later this afternoon.
Oh, no.
Doug,
no.
The future death breaking news.
It was the worst.
Did he pass away that afternoon?
Yeah, he did.
What?
But I said
nice scoop.
He's going to pass away later this afternoon.
Did people think you were going to shoot him or something?
I don't know. I didn't explain it. I didn't explain that his family's going to take him off life support. That's just the way I said it. And the Cardinals in action tonight, and that's the way it ended.
Smooth.
Tim, he only asked you guys if you've broken any stories so he could tell his story. That's from Chairman Stephen Wildwood. Doug, do you think that that's a good read by Steve?
No, I don't.
No, it just came to me. I was just curious what you give stories, because nowadays it's, there's certain guys that are going to break it, and people say, why can't Derek Gould break stories? Well, because he's not getting the information because Tim said it. You got to give something back, and you're writing for a team. He's not going to say, okay, I'll say something good about you. He's not going to do that. So these guys get stories before he does.
I think Derek Gould has probably broken a number of Cardinal stories.
Not lately.
Well, and maybe not bombshells, but he's among the first to get any kind of Cardinal news.
Well, not pertaining to trades, because they're not going to tell him anything.
Well, maybe not trades, but just about everything else.
But that's not his job.
Don't sleep on Gouldsy.
No, I'm not, but that's not his job anymore. And it used to be everybody wanted to be first at it.
Yeah. And then it became more important to be first than to be right.
Yeah.
I broke the story of the secret fan page being scuttled by its admin. The secret fan page has been scuttled by its admin. I wasn't even aware of that. Doug's prison wallet, that's the TMA social media correspondent. And Doug, I feel like we buried the lead.
And the admin is Jackson?
Yeah, Jackson, why did you scuttle it?
Oh, the secret fan page?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a power structure there, a hierarchy. I thought it was people policing people. And
The hierarchy is
I thought
secret.
that's what they were pushing against was the bureaucracy of the fan page of former days.
Okay. Well, so it's been scuttled and it's not there anymore.
They're not losers.
Well, 7-9. Is Jeff Fisher coaching in the UFL now?
He was. I don't know if he still is. He was with the. It wasn't the XFL.
Oh, that means he could be coming back to town, Doug. We got to have him in.
It was the one that they merged with, but I don't know if he's still coaching there.
I wouldn't mind that.
Michigan Panthers in 2022.
Yeah.
He's now the Nashville Cats chief advisor.
All right. He was a good guy. He really was a good guy. He didn't.
Arena football team.
Yeah.
In
He had
Nashville.
a long run in the NFL. Sure, he made a fortune.
They were the
Rams
first
are
tenant of Bridgestone Arena. How about that? Before the Predators.
Wow.
Who was the Tennessee quarterback that got killed, murdered?
McNair.
Yeah, there was a documentary on that. He was all over that. He was probably the main guy being interviewed in that documentary.
Yeah. He always made himself available. It was always very pleasant.
Seems like a guy players really liked.
Yeah.
I broke the story about Jackson having a Quinn Snyder blow-up doll. That's in the St. Charles Hermaphrodite.
Yep. And what a story it was. One rooted in truth. Realism. Quinn Snyder would never have been the blow-up doll. I didn't grow up with Quinn Snyder.
Who'd you grow up with?
Mike Anderson. That was the coach when I started to fall in love with Mizzou basketball.
with this Anderson.
Well, again, very condescending tone, very unfortunate, very...
I don't mean to. It wasn't my intention to be disrespectful.
Okay.
Respect is always the first thing on my mind.
Is it really?
Yeah. Mike Anderson was, when I would go to Mizzou basketball camp every summer, it was Mike Anderson.
Did
And
he
then,
see any potential in you?
Absolutely not.
No.
Well,
Did he,
slow.
did he watch you play at all?
Not super tall, great from the elbow, but tough behind the arc.
We got to be able to play defense with him.
One of my best friends is the new marketing director for the Battlehawks. Get ready for some fire content. It's America in the Central West End.
Okay. Some fire. I just hope they can land Cody Schrader.
He has a contract with them, as far as I know.
He does?
Well, it's contingent. Like, I think he can come play with them. I think they selected him. I think he can go play with them.
At the risk of crowdsourcing, has he gotten into a game yet with the Rams? He hasn't.
I'm not sure he's been active, has he?
He's been listed on the injury report. At least the first couple games, he was always just on the injury report.
Yeah.
But which I think means he's getting paid better than if he was just practice squad. So at least that's a plus. I think he'd rather play, but
Oh, sure.
Doug Scott's wrinkled ball sack, but not his wife. Says having a little bit of a brain fart. But Tim, didn't you break the news of a prominent Cardinal player sitting at Wheelhouse during the middle of a day game years ago? Shortly following, said player was on the move. I don't remember that.
Ray Langford?
Bristol.
Ray Langford was at Bristol.
Yeah.
That was a night game. Yes, I recall sitting. This had to have been the old Busch Stadium. Yeah, it was 2001. And I have no idea how I got this. I'm not well sourced at Bristol. I'll be transparent.
It's just right down the street
It
from where we
is.
are now.
It is indeed. But and it's pre-texting, because that was 2001. And I got that information. I'm sitting like in the media seating, the television media seating in the press box. And I guess I called Cam OV to say, hey, can we get a photographer, lensman, Doug, as you properly call them,
Right.
to meet me at 270 and Olive to go to Bristol because the Cardinals are playing, but Ray Langford is sitting at the bar.
And you were going to barge in there.
Yeah. Like,
Light on.
Yeah, 60-minute style.
Microphone in your hand.
60-minute style. And Kelly Johnson, who was a reporter at KSTK, overheard my conversation.
Oh, no.
This is true. And then we show up, but then she shows up like 2 minutes later.
Darn her.
Yeah, I mean, again,
Yeah.
nobody's really making any money. And I walk in, and I see Ray sitting at the bar, and he goes, oh, no.
Well, maybe you shouldn't go out to a public restaurant if you're trying to hide.
seems like the worst idea.
Yeah.
And so we get video of him. He leaves then the parking lot. I go back down to Busch Stadium. Cardinals.
Sorry to interrupt. The people that own Bristol, they didn't mind that you walked in with a camera and started shooting?
I don't think I didn't walk in with a camera, even though I was 24. I was astute enough to know that you can't do that because that's not public property.
Right.
And so we were in the parking lot, probably on Olive, actually. and got video of him walking to his car. I go back down to the ballpark, and I asked La Russa, I said, what's the situation with Ray Langford? No, nothing to talk about, really. So, well, he was at Bristol off 270 and Olive during the game. He goes, is that right? And I believe within a day or two of that, the Cardinals acquired Woody Williams from the Padres. They wanted Sterling Hitchcock, if you remember that name, but the Padres did not want to part with Sterling Hitchcock. Cardinals got Woody Williams, and he came over. Dave Duncan found something with him, and he went off and wound up, I would say, without that trade, they don't get to the playoffs. They were kind of floundering at the time, and he came over, and he dealt. Might have, him, Matt Morris, and Darryl Kyle were the rotation against the Diamondbacks, and they were as good as anybody, which includes that rotation of the Diamondbacks. Sounds insane, I understand, because they had Schilling and Randy Johnson, but they dropped off substantially after those two starters. It was good enough to get them a World Series, but, over the course of a regular season, you had those two guys, and then they had a pedestrian lineup with some pedestrian starters on the back end.
Makes you appreciate a guy like Dave Duncan all over again.
Oh, you better believe it. He did that with a bunch of guys, man.
Otherwise, mediocre pitcher all of a sudden is at the top of his game.
When do you think the skipper was more upset? Finding out that Ray Langford was at Bristol or finding out Steve Klein gave him the bird from the
All I can do is give you physical tells, and the Klein one pissed him off more as far as...
Yeah.
I think he probably already knew internally there was an issue with Langford. And so he's just like, there's another log in the fire. I'm going to get on the phone with Jockety or have him come down to my office and go, now we got a guy hanging out at a bar during a game.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you don't show, but like you said, you're going to a public place.
Yeah. It's almost spitting in the face of your organization. That absolutely is. I don't know what I'm saying.
And they traded Langford for Woody Williams.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
He was upset about the fire in the dugout.
That came a little later. Langford was a heck of a player for the Cardinals for a long time. I think he hit more home runs at Busch Stadium, too, than any other Cardinal.
I believe that's the case.
Wow, that's a fun little stat.
He was just put into their Hall of Fame, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. He was a good player. Good player. He just I guess he got sideways with La Russa, as a few players did.
Yeah, because of Bristol. Tim got him out of town.
Well, something happened for him to be at Bristol.
Or Kelly
in the first
Johnson
place.
got him out of town, too.
Take your pick, one or the other.
I think something happened causing him to blow off a game and go to Bristol. Is that where players go when they blow off games? Can you imagine being in a major leaguer and saying, I don't think I'll show up tonight. I'd like some seafood.
Well, Lonnie Smith,
skates.
There was a bar down the Central West End. I think it was owned by the Post House. It was called Palm Beach, and it was a happening place for a period of time when it first opened, as many places are when they first open. And my brother was a bartender there, and he said Lonnie Smith comes in like every day. He has like 2 or 3 Long Island teas, and then goes to the ballpark.
Take the edge off a little bit.
Yeah.
See the breaking ball better.
Lonnie Smith was the guy who, if he was on your team, you were like winning the World Series. He had a run. He was with the Phillies, I think, maybe. Then,
Royals.
Then the Cardinals in '82. Phillies when they won. Tug McGraw was at 1980 against the Missouri Royals. Then '82 Cardinals. In '85 with the Royals. And then I feel like there was another one in there. And then I guess he was with...
Was he with the Braves?
Braves. I don't know if he won with the Braves, but he was in that '91 World Series, great World Series against the Twins. Yeah, he was. He just bounced around and just kept winning. Dougie's a winning player. Skates.
Good leadoff hitter, fast, right-handed hitter, left fielder, and they called him Skates, I guess, because every now and then he'd hit a line driver, fly ball to him, and his feet would get all tangled up, and he'd like fall over like he was on ice skates. But he was a good player too. Played a long time.
The Cardinals got the winning out to beat the Braves to go to the World Series in '82. Willie McGee is kneeling, waiting for the ball, and Skates just goes running in front of him and catches it, nearly collides with him. There goes Skates. My first Cardinal game. Lonnie Smith inside the park home run. Oh yes.
Well,
Doug.
he could fly. He could really run.
I'm telling you. I met Ray Langford in Madison County, where he was fighting. Well, this is probably, I don't know what the situation was there. It's Woody Williams down with the Pilgrims. Thanks. That's from 314, Doug.
Yeah. Williams is a perfect example of what can happen if you get with the right coaches. And the Cardinals just haven't seemed to have that for several years now. Because I see a lot of players come up with great promise. They do nothing here. They go elsewhere, and now they're the greatest players in the history of the game.
Name one.
Rosarena broke some of Babe Ruth's records in the postseason. That would be one.
But would you rather have him or Liberatore?
Livator is another one who might benefit greatly from some quality coaching. This is another guy that was supposed to be a front-of-the-line starter.
I was working the beat and broke the story about Libby Jack skirting his 48-hour rectum rule by allowing some birthday hole play from Clarence Gilbert after he dropped 18 and 11 on KU one night. That's some little Tommy Tribbins out there in the parking lot, Jackson.
Again, falsehoods and players before I was really into Missouri basketball. So, I mean, I was 2 doing that. So, yeah, think about that for a second.
Oh, God.
Send that over to the authorities.
I could be wrong, going back to Lonnie Smith. I'm sorry. And Frank would know better than me. Cusimano, I don't know if he's listening. I don't know what time his show starts. But I think Lonnie Smith broke the story on Frank's show when we got him on for Where Are They Now segment. That when he got traded by Shearholtz, he was so upset that he actually had a gun in his car, was on his way to John Shearholtz's house to kill him.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
Huh. A little unstable.
Yeah. I don't remember what happened, and he didn't do it, but he said I was actually going to go to his house and shoot him.
This was when Shearholtz was running the Royals.
Yeah.
Then later he went to the Braves for many years.
Or maybe when Shearholtz was with the Braves, I don't know. He's with both. And Lonnie Smith played for both. Yeah. He said he wanted to kill him. Had a gun in his car and everything. He was on his way over there.
Really?
And I don't know what changed his mind or what.
I don't believe that's ever happened in baseball history.
No. He may have told that somewhere else before, but I thought he broke it on Frank's show because we were both kind of shocked.
Yeah.
Lonnie Smith played in the World Series in 80, 82, 85, 91, and 92, Doug.
It's nice. 5 years.
3 World Championships, 5 World Series. Skates.
He's still with
the
us?
Show. Lonnie Smith
He should be.
is...
He'd be about 68 or so.
68, you're exactly right. Man, that's good show prep.
Yeah.
Let's get him on.
And the player who's been in the most World Series, was that like Yogi Berra?
Yogi Berra. Play one.
They were in like every year in the 50s.
I think when he was coaching, playing, managing.
10 World Series for Yogi Berra. That gives him 1 over Joe D with 9.
Okay.
But all of the top ones are Yankee players.
Yeah. He played there in the 50s, probably.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the most World Series wins. I'm sorry.
Most World
In
Series
college,
wins.
at the upstairs bathroom at Humphreys, I witnessed Ray Lankford assist a wasted Gary Sheffield at the urinal. And Gary Sheffield is huge. I'm not making this up.
Okay.
I have others who can back me up. It's American, the Central West End.
I bet a lot of those guys would like to go through their professional athletic days again and try to do it and not be drunk so much.
Probably.
You wonder how much better you'd be if you could have been a teetotaler in your 20s and 30s while you were a professional athlete?
Just quick correction. Yogi won 10. He played in 21 World Series.
He was a bad postseason player. He was below 500.
He played in 21 or was part
He
of
appeared in 21 as a player, coach, manager from 1946 to 1985. 21 World Series he's a part of.
Because a couple of those were managers, coaches.
Sure. I saw a picture the other day of Yogi Berra, his first year with the Yankees, posing and shaking hands with Babe Ruth, and he looked terrified.
He also tiny. I'm not sure a player like that would ever be given a chance now, with that body type and his size. Oh, he could hit though. He could hit.
5'7". $185.
5'7", $185. Doug, that's like a Weeble wobble. Isn't it?
I know.
I think his house is still around down on the hill.
It absolutely is. I would walk by it all the time. They have a bunch of cool stuff up from, I mean, that whole street, that's the
Elizabeth
Hall of Fame Drive.
Right.
Yeah.
And Jack Bucks
Garagiola.
and Joe Garagiola's houses.
Yeah. And I think maybe not on the same street, but the guys who played on the World Cup team for Italy long ago, in like the 40s or 50s.
You think they'll put a plaque on the apartment where you lived?
I wonder about that.
No, but maybe. I didn't think I did anything memorable. But I think I have a long future ahead where they could put a plaque up.
It's possible, yeah. St. Gabe's is still working on that statue of Tim out front.
Don't do it. You're better than that.
It's taken him so long.
Don't do it. You're better than that. Fight the temptation. Fight it. You're better than that.
Right now.
Here it is.
I won't do it. I'm not going to. I'm not going to make any jokes about it. Looks like a jockey. I'm not
Damn it,
going
there
to.
it is. I knew it was coming. Drop out of it.
What about the head?
Yeah, it's the head. The right
Sand
side
it.
is perfectly
They want their money back because it wasn't. No, I'm not. I'm not going there.
Doug, I'm going to Design Air is where I'm going. And Seth Goldcamp's at St. Gabriel, so it all makes sense. I mean, what are we doing here with this forecast? I'm now looking at Halloween's forecast.
It's like the one day that's going to rain?
No.
Is it
high as 71?
Oh, great.
Thank you, Seth Goldcamp, for your weather. Next Tuesday, how does 80 sound?
Sounds fine.
How was Wednesday on October 30th, 77 sound?
How about just a little bit of rain?
No, nobody cares about your...
It's not growing.
Nobody cares about it. They enjoy compressing the golf ball. I mean, are we going to have like 75-degree temperatures when we're on, what's this crap we do with the clocks? It's starting November 3rd, I think.
Ball back.
That's it. Anyway, Design Air Heating and Cooling is the official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. I'm a client. Doug's a client. Iggy's a client. Why don't you become a client as well? You'll be working with Seth Goldcamp at Design Air Heating and Cooling. Online at designairservice.com. Seth is fourth generation of Design Air Heating and Cooling, and he prides himself on the same thing that his great-grandfather did starting the business, and that is no upselling. We fix it, we take care of people, they can count on us, and that's that. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com. At some point, you're going to turn your heater on. Hell, at some point. I don't know when, though. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com. Doug, you know anything about Brown and Krupin? Because I got them as our title sponsor.
That's exactly who they are. Terry Krupin, Andy Krupin, and Ed Herman would be your principals. One of them comes in here every Tuesday. Ed Herman here yesterday. Wonderful guys, full of wisdom, not just with the all things legal, but just life in general. And they're great people to have on your side if you think you have a potential personal injury case. It's worth a call. If something happened to you, you got injured due to someone else's negligence, certainly worth a call to Brown and Krupin to talk it over. Maybe you have a case, maybe you don't. But they will certainly give you a free evaluation, no cost at all for you to talk it over. And they work on a contingency basis, no upfront cost at all to you. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid, and they've won more than $1 billion in compensation for their clients. Brown and Krupin also very big in the community. They're involved in many charities and community events, everything from Annie Malone and Sister Strut to Stray Rescue. They are very much ingrained in the St. Louis scene. They also know the other lawyers. They know the judges. They know how the court systems work. It's just a law firm to have on your side if you need justice. Justice, after all, is their business. If you think you may need Brown and Krupin services, call them at 314-222-2222, or you go to brownandkrupin.com and make sure you let them know you heard about it. Here on TMA, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Past results are no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own accord.
There it is. It's 8:10 in St. Louis. For those of you enjoying the program live, whether you're live streaming, maybe you got HD2. I don't know.
Could.
Or you could be watching the program at youtube.com/TMASTL. We'll close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. On the other side of the break, Doug, a story in the St. Louis Business Journal about a significant decline for St. Louis in a national ranking.
Hard to believe.
And it involves sports.
Oh, no.
We'll have that story for you next on TMA. It's presented to you by Brown and Krupin.
KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Ready to step your game up to the next level? 5P Academy is the place for any high-level 8 to 18-year-old football player. Based in O'Fallon, Missouri, we have national travel, 7-on-7, and flag football teams with professional coaches. Pre-registration for our 2025 season tryouts in November is open now. Come be a part of the championship-winning 5P family. For more details, email info@5pacademy.com or call Dustin at 314-440-8457.
If you talk to someone who has had a kitchen remodel, say, from Calier and Thompson, they'd probably love to show it to you and say, look what our place looks like now. Calier and Thompson does it, and they do it right. Also, football season is here. You might want to update that man cave. Nothing better than sitting in a comfortable man cave, and Calier and Thompson can make it look like the best place in your house. You want an appliance? Maybe an appliance for the holidays. You're thinking about that. They've got the top brand names. They got Bosch, Thermador, Wolf, Sub-Zero. Got them all. Old Stacy is the appliance guy. He'll do you right. Matthew and Eric are the appliance installers. Also, they are looking to hire some lead contractors. If that is your line of work and you'd like to work for the best company in town that does this sort of stuff, Calier and Thompson is the one to look for. They've got almost everything, and it's all right there in-house. No need to go to 5 or 8 different places to remodel one room. With Calier and Thompson, the countertops, appliances, lighting, flooring, hardware, plumbing, electric, you name it, it is all right there in-house. They will take absolutely great care of you. Calier and Thompson on Manchester and Baldwin, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Calier and Thompson, come home to quality. Online at CalierandThompson.com.
Why Brown and Krupin? If you hire us, you're going to get great service, you're going to get a great result. We're the winningest, and quite frankly, we're the kindest.
The strong voice and advocate.
Why Brown and Krupin? We provide a family. We have the power, the resources, and the ability to do what you need us to do, which is to get every cent that you deserve for the terrible thing that was done to you.
That's why Brown and Krupin. The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I regret not managing my finances better in my 20s and my 30s, and now I see how crucial it is for achieving major life goals. Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and does not provide tax advice.
This is defensive back Toriano Pride. Me and my guys will take care of the coverage on the field, and my friend James Carlton will take care of the coverage at home and on the road.
Thanks, Toriano, for protecting Faroe Field. We'll protect you on the road and at your home.
Online at carltoninsurance.net.
See you in Columbia.
Hey, you. It's Dr. Pryor. If your mouth's been getting more action from late night pizza than it has from a toothbrush, it's time to come see me. At 100 West Dental, we know how to clean up your act and your smile. Whether it's overdue cleanings, a chipped tooth from a wild weekend, or just getting that fresh, I'm definitely not hungover grin, we got you covered. Look, we know you're not shy, so why shy away from getting your teeth right? Book your free consultation at 100westdental.com, and let's give you something to smile about. Because hey, you deserve to be as smooth as Tim's golf swing.
Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball! Tired of it!
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster, so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information at TMASTL.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at TMASTL.com. TMA brings you the 3rd annual TMA Trivia Night, Friday, November 15th at Tim's alma mater, St. Gabe's, starting at 7:30. All kinds of trivia, including sports, entertainment, St. Louis-centric, and a TMA round thrown in there too. All hosted by the guys from TMA. Get single tickets, tables of 8, or anything in between. Tickets are on sale now and cost $50 a person. Portions of the proceeds will go to St. Gabe's. Ticket includes food from Heavy Smoke Barbecue, plus beer, canned cocktails, and seltzers from Show Me Beverages while supplies last. Please drink responsibly and feel free to bring your own food and beverages too. Find out more at TMASTL.com. Introducing the first ever TMA Banty Brew, a 16-ounce canned wheat ale with orange and coriander and an image of all 4 TMA boys across the front. The Banty Brew, a refreshing ale made with white wheat, ground coriander, and fresh whole oranges. And now you can pick up the TMA Banty Brew at Salt and Smoke or at any area Friar Tuck's location. Must be 21 or older to consume or purchase. See the can at TMASTL.com and find a participating location to try it for yourself. Brought to you by Charlottesville Brewery and Winery in St. Genevieve, Show Me Beverages, and Salt and Smoke. Find out more at TMASTL.com.
105.7 HD2. It's the Brown and Krupin Morning After.
It's Halloween, it's time to scare the pants off your friends. It's Halloween, it's time to clap.
This is the consensus best acoustic session song, right?
Boy, it's tough. It's like when you look at John Mellencamp in the early 80s. I mean, yeah, you can make a case for Jack and Diane, but then I'm going to come right back at you with Small Town. And some people are going to go Pink Houses, you know?
And some people are going to say, what's he doing at the University of Indiana football game?
Yep.
Like the President's Day song gets the people going, but it's a parody. You know, it's inspired.
Parody? Well, damn you, boy.
I know. Well, it's certainly inspired by another song. This is wholly original.
You know, Billy Joel didn't rip that off.
That's a good point. That's a fair point.
Fisher Window and Door Store, 8 o'clock hour. Got this Bear Bells, Doug. It was in the bottom of my work bag. Look how smashed up it is.
Yeah.
And so I have to stick my tongue in there, like a little analingus session.
Let me zoom in.
And try to dig out that brown.
Oh!
Balloon party coming up at 10.
Oh. So where's your tongue going now?
Into this little crevice to get the brown reward.
Oh.
Hit the zoom.
Don't say brown reward.
Suspend him, Doug.
You ask the question, I give an answer, then you get angry as a hornet.
Oh.
Little hummingbird.
Don't make that sound again. What was that sound? Oh.
Saw Brian Stoley's in the building.
Brian Stull.
Yeah, he's one of the
Battlehawks?
One of the Battlehawk dudes. I forgot his name.
When do they start up?
After the NFL, right?
Okay. All right.
You like their chances this year?
I don't know who they have. Does anyone know who their players are?
McCarron quit, didn't he?
Oh, is that right?
I thought didn't he say he was retiring?
Let's find out.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he said he's done.
Tim is trying to spread the cheeks of that rapper.
To get the brown reward.
God!
Stuck together like
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Sorry if I missed it, but what flavor are you having?
Oh, no problem. Chocolate chip cookie dough, and somehow it's only 190 calories with like 15 grams of carbohydrates. My wife is convinced these things are going to give us all tumors.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they could.
They can't taste as good. Agent McCarron plans on having surgery to repair the ankle in the offseason being now, knowing that there was a possibility he could end his playing career, but he wanted to continue having a part in the league, even if it was in a non-playing role.
So he may be back.
He may be. Yeah. Surgery, not sure. I mean, he is 34 years old, so it's not uncommon for guys at his age to shut, especially after another injury.
Right.
Well, unless he's playing in the NFL, making $10 million, he'd probably give it a try. But when you're playing for the Battlehawks,
You pouring a cold frosty with?
That's all I could hear there.
How can you hear? I don't hear anything.
What do you mean? How could you hear?
It sounded like somebody was hitting a water bong.
I mean, I can't hear anything.
That is a good analogy, Chairman.
These headphones, you can get these headphones at Walgreens for like $19.
Sound like a beer commercial.
Yola.
Yola. Wilmore Park bathroom attendant says, just go, man.
Go where?
No, I just looked at the YouTube chat, and that's what I see.
I like that.
I think he's talking to me about Tuscaloosa.
Oh, you're going to Tuscaloosa?
It's looking like it, yeah.
Oh, wow.
When are you leaving?
I have a sound story Friday at KMOX from 11 to noon, so maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Huh.
Get there around probably 8 or 9 with stops.
Indeed.
Who are you going to go with?
My old man.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yep, the boys are 5-0 when I'm in the building, so I feel like I'd owe it to them to be
You
down
have
there.
to go. You have to go.
I don't know who I could discuss this with in a serious way, so I'll just discuss it here and be attacked for it, but that's fine. Doug, let's give the people some red meat.
Okay.
Jackson and I were talking about this during the commercial break on Balloon Party yesterday. Alabama's approximately, it's a little more than 500, but 520 on the money line. So one can ask themselves how much a Missouri win at Alabama would mean to them, and then do a little emotional risk management. Now, for the record, and I will be happy to catch hell from those who love, and I mean love, to follow every move I make and hate. On Monday morning that I was wrong, but I would lay the 13.5 and take Alabama all day on Saturday. I mean, I love it. However, it's the last thing that I want to happen, and then secondarily, even if Alabama were to win, but let's say they win by 10 and I put a bunch of money on it, well, now I got double penetrated.
Yeah.
Bupkis.
I lost the wager, Missouri's season's over, and there you go. But if I were to put down a certain amount, And yeah, I know it's like Biff on a hockey game, but if I were to put down a certain amount and I'm comfortable with that price, essentially I'm either getting delicious cash or I'm getting a Missouri win, and I just got to find the right number. And I got to be honest with you, I am truly thinking about doing it. I guess I talked about it with my wife, not because I wanted approval per se, but just to convey that I really like the idea of doing this. So in other words, I either win X number of dollars or I lose the money, but Missouri is, and we now have 2 weeks in between Alabama and Oklahoma, and Missouri is now at least better than 50% to be in the playoff. Doesn't mean that they're a lock by any means. They could lose any of those games. But, yeah, to win at Alabama and be, what would they be, 7-1, I guess? So anyway, that's what I'm thinking.
Even for you, that's a hard one because you just, winning $100 to you is no big deal, and you have to put up $550 to do that.
I understand.
Yeah, so
I would say, whatever, if you're planning on doing this, for anybody out there, find that number where you think that this is what it's worth for Missouri to win at Bama.
That's what I'm doing.
And continue the hope, and then subtract that number by about 15%. I would say subtract that, because I think in your mind when there's a possibility of making that money, you're not thinking about the loss as much. But if Missouri's driving down and they're going to win, if having 15% less of your exposure there, I think would feel better in your mind.
Like factor in the 15%
A little fudge factor.
How'd you come up with 15%?
I think that's the right number.
Okay.
Or 12% for Brady.
Oh, that makes a little more sense.
Ooh, Brady plus Luther, 15%.
Okay, doggone it.
Nice. Yeah, this is 12 plus 3. That's 6.
Okay.
Because if it's going to work, 12 plus 3 has got to be the equation.
Wouldn't you be pretty surprised?
Oh, you catch that little percussion right there?
I did. It's just really...
Yep. Son of an editor.
Yeah. Wouldn't you be surprised if Missouri only lost by 13?
Yes, that's why I
If it was
love
25
Alabama
to
minus
12,
13.
you'd say, oh, that wasn't bad.
If you didn't see Brady Cook's health and what came in after Brady Cook, which was perhaps the most stunning part of Saturday, and again, I don't know if it was caught on the television cameras, but when you saw at the game how far the balls were from their targets, from Drew Pine, so you could see that on television.
There was some throws that weren't even close.
It was unbelievable. It kind of looked like a Sandlot game. My dad, a big Notre Dame fan, he goes, Timmy, he played at Notre Dame. I go, yeah, what happened there? How'd that go on where he was recruited and started at Notre Dame? But anyway, my premise is based on I don't think Brady Cook is going to be able to do what he did this past Saturday in the second half. And I would be surprised if Missouri, which struggled with the likes of Diego Pavia and Thomas Castellanos with Boston College, is going to be able to manage Jalen Milroe, along with not getting probably much pressure on him from that defensive line. And then much less the Missouri secondary, which has been beaten badly by Auburn receivers and Boston College receivers and Vanderbilt receivers. It just strikes me as something in the 49-10 range. I don't want it to happen. I'm willing to spend a lot of money to either win a relatively small amount for what I'm risking, but again, the 13.5 could present. I could get double penetrated. I'm airtighted right there on Saturday afternoon.
Well, if they're ever going to get him, this is year. I mean, they're hurt in the secondary. They got some injuries. They don't have that stud running back or wide receiver they've had in the past.
Ryan Williams.
They don't have Saban.
Ryan Williams can play ball. If I could take a prop for Ryan Williams to score a 40-yard touchdown or more, I would take it all day. Mizzou loves giving up those big plays. Once a game, left flat-footed. Ryan Williams is different.
Yeah, he's a freshman, but...
Sadly, I think Mizzou is all smoke and mirrors. I don't think they're a very good team. I think they're middle of the pack for the nation. Beneficiary of a soft schedule.
We'll find out Saturday.
I don't think they're very good.
That's what the Colonel was saying on the State of the Tigers. He goes, all these people who are mad when people talk about how easy Missouri's schedule is. The reason why Missouri is most likely dead at 10-2 is because of how bad the schedule is. And also the reason why Missouri would probably be 10-2 is because of how soft the schedule is.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if Missouri had Oklahoma's schedule or Florida's schedule or Georgia's schedule. Sweet mother of mercy. But, Doug, What were we saying following the Middle Tennessee State game last year? Oh, my God. Colonel wrote a column that he's still getting held accountable for more than a year later. And then they go out there and they have the Harrison Mevis kick. So maybe this could be a signature moment. And wow, there they are taking on Georgia for the SEC championship in December in Atlanta, and a rematch with Ohio State in a game the Buckeyes will try to win for the national championship.
You think they would try this time?
Don't say that on Tiger Board either.
I assume that they would. I just
You
don't
don't think
see.
their top wide receiver just stand there on the sideline?
I just
or their,
don't-
their quarterback would transfer before it?
No, I just don't see anything about this Missouri team that gives you much hope to beat the top teams in the
Guess
country.
you didn't watch the UMass game. You were too caught up in the foliage.
I didn't look at the leaves either. I don't care about the leaves up there. We got leaves here. There's just nothing there. I wish it was different, but there's just nothing there.
You'll admit the fourth quarter of the last game looked completely different than the first couple games.
It did against a very poor team.
Relatively, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're bad, but I think Auburn could beat a lot of Big 12 and some ACCs. Like if
And
they're-
SEC teams, too.
Yeah.
I do agree with that, but their offense is the warmest
yeah,
of garbage.
their offense sucks, and the fact that they scored a bomb touchdown again, like
Right.
is just keeps letting that happen.
If there was a prop bet out there of Alabama having a 40-yard plus touchdown.
To Ryan Williams, that's what I would bet all day. I would bet that all day.
Oh, there's Toriano Pride. Looking, chasing, gone.
In fairness, it was Drayton Norwood the last game, but
Yeah, historically it's been Pride.
it's Pride that's given it to worse teams.
Alabama could either be downtrodden that they've lost 2 games that they didn't think they should lose, or they could be angrier than Hornets and actually want to stomp a mud hole in the Missouri Tigers.
I got a question about that for Balloon Party today.
Wow, dog!
And I'm not only putting Tim in the mind of Kalen DeBoer, I'm putting him in the mind of Eli Drinkwitz and Brett Bielema.
Oh, God.
It's going to be a comprehensive look.
We're going to
at all
talk
that.
about the Ducks.
Dan Lanning.
Yeah.
I guess we could also do this role playing with Dan Lanning.
Oh, role play on Balloon Party. Dirty.
It's going to be pretty naughty.
Dirty.
It's going to be a pretty naughty 1 hour presentation.
And you bring this up right after Tim went for a chocolatey surprise?
It was
Brown surprise?
It turned hotter once I knew Tim was searching for the brown.
Oh!
Lusting after it, really.
Pumpkin spice and watching Mizzou fans go through the 5 stages of grief. It's fall time in St. Louis. Doug, that's from Arbor Day, and Arbor Day won the Milagro Tequila Texter of the Year last year.
I'm sure he knows a lot about trees.
Yeah. Vandy beat Bama, and Missouri beat Vandy. Transitive property, Doug. That's from the Birthday Hawk.
Okay. All right.
I am absolutely shipping the roll on Alabama this week. I'd be crazy not to. That's from Harrison's brother Master.
Oh, that'd make it all the more sweeter if you lost your ass on that game.
His roll is like $10, so
it'd make it all the more sweet.
good luck to you.
Jackson sounds like a Mizzou nationalist. That's from the Crystal City Clamhammer.
Do I? I feel like I've been fairly
nothing wrong
critical
with
of the
that.
program.
There's nothing wrong with being a nationalist.
Well, I'm just trying to
rooting
offer
hard for your team.
because I agree with what you're saying in terms of like I don't think Mizzou has shown at all, but I can provide the other point of they look different that fourth quarter against Auburn than they have all year, and that's the most recent we've seen Mizzou. So you're going into the game with more momentum than you've gone into any game this year. Maybe Murray State notwithstanding. That's just the point I was trying to make.
Well, it could be, yeah. You hit a couple big passes there at the end.
Like if you're asking me would I take Mizzou plus 13.5, no, I would not. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Do we even know that Brady Cook is going to play?
He didn't practice yesterday.
I watched all of Eli Drinkwitz's press conference, and he said he was not letting the media into the practice because they have injuries. He was asked if he would be practicing. He said he would be there. Didn't say whether or not he'd be practicing.
So he's not practicing. He's off the foot. Stay off the foot, they told him.
They asked Drink, was Brady at practice, and he said, define at. Like Clinton.
Mizzou fans should start making arrangements. That's from Mr. Licks. Doug, it's like the doctor walking out to the family.
It's like the story Iggy broke, where they expected to die late this afternoon.
Well, why would you practice? I mean, put yourself in a boot for 5 days and get ready to go.
Keep that foot elevated.
They are not going to beat Bama on the road. If it was a home game, maybe. They have no shot. If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention. That's from the Hunchback of Von Castle.
We'll see. That's what I'll say, is we will see.
Well, you always have hope, and that's what sports
That's all I want.
Sports is
That's
about.
all I want. I just want them to be good so bad. That's all I want. Truly. Cardinals can never win again. Blues can never win again. If Mizzou can win both the Natty and football and basketball, I'll die happy.
I mean, seriously, do Missouri Fats really honestly think they're going to win at Alabama? Say that out loud and lison how dumb you sound. That's from Lady Sonia's teacup.
I'm not trying to be a Tiger nationalist, but
You
saying
can be, it's
saying
okay.
Mizzou is going to get rolled by Alabama is not like it's not like a bold, edgy take. It's what everyone in the country thinks.
Yeah.
So,
but there's a reason everyone in the country thinks that.
Right. I'm not saying that they're wrong, but they're like coming at it like they're like being edgy, like sick. They're going to lose to Bama. No S.
I'm kind of surprised you're only 14.5.
13.5. Is it up to 14.5?
I thought it was 14.5.
Let's go to the old scores and s'mores.
My high school bookie and Bovada.
Missouri currently, Doug, I know you're worried about their current line. You don't care about how it opened.
Right.
They are currently
still at 13.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Iggy, did you see 14.5 or you just
I thought I saw 14.5. I could be wrong.
Where do you
Obviously
look?
wrong.
Which
I usually go to DraftKings Sportsbook.
Okay. Maybe it's 14.5 there.
It's 13.5 on DK.
That 1 point from 13.5 to 14.5. That's a valuable point.
Yeah.
Looks like it's MGM has it at 14 at the moment.
Mizzou, ice hockey, round ball, sports pre-10, 2010, as usual, pale, clueless AF.
Oh.
From the 314.
Come on.
I don't understand what that meant.
Ice hockey.
Sports free.
They
So
got
you're
a-
saying I
they
don't
got
know
a
anything
club
about
team.
Mizzou or basketball? Okay.
Well,
interesting.
Yeah, it did make a lot of sense.
Alabama's going to win by 30. It's American the Central West End. Texas A&M Part 2 is coming Saturday, femurs. It's a Mr.
Oh,
Sider.
nice. That's a good.
That wouldn't
nickname.
surprise you, would it?
No, it doesn't. But all these guys are really cool for saying it.
Oh.
Because they love rooting for their team that they don't have.
Oh, wow. You just called them a commuter school.
I don't know anything about where they went to school. I don't. The Schadenfreude thing is really odd to me.
But that's a great thing. It's a great thing.
Schadenfreude?
Not necessarily. I think in a vacuum it's not, but this is what you want.
Yeah.
2 years ago, if we would have been talking about Missouri with Illinois fan being angry, I mean, Kansas, unfortunately, I don't really care one way or the other, but they're irrelevant this year. But you want fans in college sports going after each other. And the thing that does suck this weekend is that you have the two biggest road games for both programs. I mean, Missouri's at Georgia last year was huge, but both programs have an opportunity to go from kind of the also-rans and not trusted to the top 10, you know?
Yeah, I would.
Illinois absolutely does, because they beat a legitimate number one who beat Ohio State and doesn't have a loss. Alabama's a tough one to figure out because they've lost to Vanderbilt, truly could have lost to South Carolina, and did lose to Tennessee, and hadn't had two losses before November, going back before Nick Saban. So this might just be a team that, kind of like Michigan, kind of like Oklahoma, kind of like Florida State, has been a brand, but just is not good this year. They also have a lot of issues in their secondary from a health perspective. And Jalen Milroe has kind of been getting the Brady Cook treatment down in Tuscaloosa, and not the hero thing, but he doesn't look right, they're saying. So I think they're wondering if he's not healthy, because the guy that was running up and down the field against Georgia is not the guy that's been out there the last few games. So maybe he got hurt. So
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, when you're getting the Schadenfreude, that means your team, Missouri, is in a position where they actually can do something. If you're not, that means that they're super middle of the pack and definitely not in the race. So I would prefer the Schadenfreude. I just find it odd.
are you arguing with Mr. Licks? I just saw something from Jack B.
No,
to Mr. Licks.
he said I called in, no answer. I said, try again, sorry.
Oh, got it. The self-loathing Mizzou fan is as tired as Cottleville citizen that just got done with a light jog. I think that's from Doug's prison.
A lot of people in Cottleville jog lightly. Is that something to be ashamed of?
Better than just sitting on your ass.
Sure it is. They're gearing up for possible war against Webster Grove.
I love Jackson, but I disagree with the Schadenfreude. I actually root for Mizzou, but find a large faction of Mizzou fans to have a delusional, whiny quality to them. Not all, but maybe 20%. That's from Arbor Day.
Yeah, I think every college team has a very loud, vocal minority and a much greater majority who just enjoys watching the game and hopes for their team to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd be shocked if there wasn't a team that actually could be in the conversation for being in the CFP that doesn't have a fraction of their fan base like that. I don't think there is one out there.
Mizzou fans are like Ken. They have so many shoulda, woulda, couldas. You can act like a man! That's from Arbor Day.
If it was in Columbia, I would say they have a little bit of a shot. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, hell, Vanderbilt beat them, and Vanderbilt was supposed to be the worst team in the conference next to Mississippi State. So Mizzou beat Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt beat Alabama.
There you go, Doug.
Then again, Missouri got trounced by Texas A&M, and Mississippi State gave them a pretty good game. Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah,
Anything can happen.
I think the South Carolina in Tuscaloosa being right there is more of the reference point I'm looking at, less so than Vandy, because at road games, things get wild. But at home, South Carolina, who's been sometimes great, sometimes not, being right there with them, that's the hope I'm looking for.
Doug, Mr. Licks wants to talk about it. This guy knows his
I don't know
college
what he
football. He's on the Calier and Thompson phone lines.
Big
Morning,
Rebels
Mr.
guy.
Hey, Jackson.
I feel like I'm about to get taken to the
What is it,
cleaners.
I'm sorry, Jackson, but Mizzou's going to get trounced on Saturday.
Okay, we'll see.
And when your only retort to all of these claims is, we'll see, it kind of means your team is bad.
Ooh, expound.
Well, if you have nothing to say for why Mizzou might win other than, we'll see, I think that means you have no positive attributes of the team to point to for why they might win.
Would you like that? Would you like me to explain that?
Sounds like he's going to give him a dirty.
Oh, you are.
Give me the dirty.
Well, I think, like I said, the fourth quarter against Auburn looked like a totally different team than we've seen the past couple of games. I think they have the talent. Okay, so I start explaining it, and then you groan. Like, what do you want out of me?
Something better than the fourth quarter against Auburn.
Okay, so I try to explain it, and then it's not good enough for you.
Okay, what else? What else besides that? I apologize.
The defense played quite well against Auburn. Granted, Auburn has a bad offense, no doubt. But also Alabama has not looked like the same Alabama against Georgia. They played poorly against South Carolina at home. They played obviously poorly against Tennessee. They're kind of reeling. And Mizzou seems to be more on the upswing than they have all season. So it's a little bit of a momentum thing.
And you feel... what was the score of the Mizzou-Auburn game?
Pick up the energy, Lex. Pick it up.
21. Was it 21-17?
Yes, sir.
You feel like that means they're on the upswing?
They scored most of those points in the end of the third, in the fourth quarter. So when Brady returned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see.
We will see.
Is that it?
Doug, do you have something to get to?
Well, I want you to pick up the energy a little bit. Sounds like you're sleepwalking through this.
I gave my token CBC friend 17 points in the GERS.
Did you really? That could be huge for him.
I'm so confident that Mizzou is going to get absolutely demolished on Saturday. Like, it's a joke that Jackson even has the tiniest bit of hope right now.
No, I think it's better to live totally without joy and think everything that's bad will happen absolutely and have no hope. I think that's a very bright way to live, and I plan on doing it for the rest of my life.
Well, now it just seems like you're being sarcastic.
Glad Ole Miss caught you to pick up on that.
Oh, damn. He just called you Ole Miss.
See, that's how I know this is getting to you, that you have to resort to that, when that's just so not you, Jackson.
Okay.
Well, hey, here's my Mount Rushmore of Country Club chicken fingers.
Oh, now we're talking.
Let's hear it.
I spent all weekend thinking through this, and by the way, they know how to do ice cubes at Belle Reve, and I give them a lot of
Doug,
credit.
do you agree with the ice cubes at Belle Reve?
What do they do there that's any different than anywhere else?
Well, they stamp them with the Belle Reve logo.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can tell, and you have to know this to pick up on it, so I'm kind of giving away some secrets here, but they boil the water so there's no bubbles in the ice cubes themselves. So it's just clear, perfectly clear ice.
Okay.
I was at Belle Reve the other day and got a glass of water. I didn't see any cubes stamped.
Why were you at Belle Reve?
I had to go pick something up, and I was in the dining room, had a glass of water, and none of the ice cubes had Belle Reve on them.
What'd you have to pick up?
Something for Gobble Bowl. It's for you, masturbator.
Okay, let's wrap
Well, can
this
I get
up.
to the Mount Rushmore or what?
Doug,
Hurry up!
I guess Belle Reeves chicken fingers or the George Washington licks?
I don't know. It's only a 3-hour
Thank you.
show.
Yes,
Hurry up.
Thank you. Okay, and I'll tell you what, Mrs. Licks did not agree with this and was not thrilled with the time I spent talking about this over the weekend, but that's my George Washington. And by the way, she thinks my number 2 should be number 1, but she can pound sand. So number 2 would have to, and this is in order, number 2 is St. Louis.
This is for chicken fingers.
Yes.
Okay. Number 3?
Number 3, I'm going to give to Westboro for reasons that I won't disclose.
Okay.
Oh, wow, Doug, that's very interesting.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, let's go! Spit it out!
Okay. Now, I don't really want to give you number 4 now.
Oh, no, it's getting better teasing, though, I will say that. What do you think it is, Doug?
You hadn't made it up yet.
Sounds kind of Hoosier to me. You walk
what,
into
you wanna
St. Louis. It sounds kind of Hoosier to me. You walk into St. Louis Country Club for dinner or lunch. I love the chicken fingers. Doesn't that sound kind of Hoosierish?
Yes, it does.
I don't know. Most of the time it's at a wedding, right? Because there's kids there, they get the chicken fingers, and then you're sloshing it around, and you need some food like that at 10 o'clock. And they come out.
Okay.
The way it works.
All right, we're going to get number 4 or not?
Yeah, it's a sneaker play that you wouldn't expect, but it's actually, I'm going to go with Glen Echo.
Glen Echo.
For chicken fingers, okay.
1901.
Glen Echo Licks has because we played in the Ascension Pro. I don't know what we played in some APGA. Did we play? Were you with me for that?
I was there last.
Okay. Their chicken wings are like the dirty wings at Obie Clark's. It's the exact same thing, and they are ridiculous. I can't speak to the chicken fingers, but the chicken wings at Glen Echo's Sweet Mother of Mercy. Doug, you just played there with Mark Milton last week.
And Joe Wachter, the head
What
superintendent.
course?
The Glen Echo course.
Oh, my God.
What do you mean, what course? We
Glen
played
Echo
the
just
front
has
9 and the back 9.
They just have the 118. You might be thinking Norwood has the 2 courses.
Oh, yeah, Norwood's the east and west.
Yeah.
My apologies, Doug. Sorry about that.
This guy.
Can I give my chicken wing take, though? Because you kind of baited me there, Tim.
Doug, you want the chicken wing take? We got a lot.
He knows the chicken fingers at Glen Echo, but he doesn't know the course.
I thought we just got to the 4.
I get a lot of hate for this take, and I have yet to find someone that agrees with me. But I really don't enjoy when you get into a chicken wing discussion and everyone starts talking about, this restaurant has the best chicken wings. No, this restaurant makes the best wings. They're literally all the same. Any good chicken wing is as good as another good chicken wing. It's a cheap piece of meat that gets fried once or twice with some sauce. There's no variation. How could you be better than another place doing the exact same thing?
I don't know.
Some wings are bigger than others, Like sometimes you get really tiny little wings, and that always sucks.
That's pigeon. You're eating pigeon.
Oh, is that pigeon? Really?
That always sucks. So I think size would be like the biggest difference.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad I shared that.
It's not the worst take.
Where does anyone know where I get authentic Cuban coffee in St. Louis?
Doug, you are a big coffee.
Do we work there? Is that what you ask?
I don't know how you got that from what I just said.
I thought that's what you... Does anybody work there? What did you say? Do we go there?
Do you go where?
Authentic Cuban coffee.
Do you go to a coffee? Well, Doug.
I'm repeating what you said.
No, you're not.
I don't go to this place. What you're talking about?
It's not a place. It's
what is it?
Beverage.
Okay, I don't drink it.
I used to have it when I was in Miami. I'd have layovers coming back from Jamaica, and I have like a 3-hour layover. And what I'd love to do is I'd get a Cuban coffee, sit on like the stump there by the airport, and just people watch.
The stump.
And it's the strongest coffee you will ever have. You take 3 sips and you're wired for the rest of the day. That's my take on Cuban coffee.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, it's just espresso. It's not stronger than another espresso drink.
Well, it's stronger than regular coffee.
Okay. What last question? Why? And I apologize if you've already addressed this. When Bob Blitz, the Dragon Slayer, got to that settlement with the Rams, how come he didn't include forfeiture of this clause for their practice facility in the settlement?
Yeah, we brought that up yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
What did they say?
We didn't have him on. We just wondered why they didn't. Missed opportunity.
What did the person you were talking to say? You're just discussing amongst yourself?
No, Ed Herman was here. Brown and Krupin.
Yeah, you can go back and
What did
listen
he say?
You can listen to the first segment from yesterday. Right towards the end of the segment, we talked to Ed Herman about that.
Okay, I'll hang up and listen.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Licks.
All right, pot him down.
Thanks, Licks.
Pot him down.
Like
Got
he's
his mic.
Calier and Thompson phone lines. It's Mr. Licks.
Oh, that's exhausting.
Good call.
If he'd just pick up the pace a little bit, it'd be appreciated. He's pretty negative.
This loser acts like he's an elitist, and then he goes out to all the country clubs in St. Louis and orders chicken tenders.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Probably means he's getting invited out on the off days of Mondays when the clubs are closed and they host charity events for the poor. Doug, that's from Uncle Moose Knuckle.
Okay.
He's not sold on Licks's.
Maybe he's working in the kitchen in these clubs.
Licks was definitely coming after me in that call, but I do love chicken tenders, and I will forever love chicken tenders, and I respect the play. Always will.
Chicken tenders, I'm not sure they're even chicken meat.
Oh!
Hey, easy.
They're not.
It's just rib meat patted together.
Maybe.
Well,
I would be shocked
Maybe.
if St. Louis Country Club had chicken tenders on their menu.
What about for the Tykes?
Yeah.
Tykes are
Low growl.
Tykes
Your
are,
response to that?
Tykes are eating. I've seen 8-year-olds getting steak tartare in there.
Tartar. What makes steak a tartar?
Is that just raw?
It's just raw meat with the egg on top and some
I'm out on
capers.
that.
Sounds
Yeah.
horrible.
I'm with you, Doug. I'm out on that.
Raw meat. It can't be very healthy.
Seriously, a guy who has no membership anywhere is ranking chicken fingers at private clubs? Dude, seriously, just die and die a slow Edgar Allan Poe death.
Oh.
Doug, quoth the raven nevermore.
Right.
What happened to Edgar Allan Poe?
I don't know. He lost his mind, didn't he?
Yeah, that's from the Worst One's Wacko.
Find out.
They've been sideways.
I like how the Baltimore Ravens, they have 3 ravens as their mascots, and their names are Edgar Allan and Poe.
How about that?
That's
I
very
think
sharp.
that's great.
I feel like they could do more with their uniforms, don't you?
Baltimore?
Yeah.
I think they do just enough.
Really?
Yeah, I think they have the best all-black uniform. I think they incorporate the flag just the right amount, not like Maryland, University of Maryland, that does it way too much.
Yeah, they do.
I think they've bridged that really, really well. I like
Obie
that.
Clark's chicken tendies on late night food menu at me wedding this weekend. That's from Juan from PP Corp. Oh, Juan's getting married?
Mazel tov to Juan.
Oh, so that's where they're going after the wedding. They're going to Obie Clark?
Nice.
Or maybe they're just having it delivered. That's what they do at wedding receptions. You have the main meal, then you dance the night away, and then right at the end of the party, here comes the pizza or the White Castle
Bill.
or chicken tendies.
Ooh, Bill.
At the time, Edgar Allan Poe's death was, quote, a congestion of the brain or cerebral inflammation. So he essentially died just going insane.
Insane in
I
number.
guess.
Insane in
Well,
brain.
Alzheimer's, they probably didn't call it Alzheimer's back.
They say it could have been heart disease, epilepsy, syphilis, cholera, carbon monoxide poisoning, rabies.
Might have a lot going on there, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what the Worst One's Wacko wants to happen to Mr. Licks, Doug.
They would have had carbon monoxide poisoning back then? Where would that have come from?
I don't know.
Probably stoves, pot stoves.
Don't marry a girl! That's from the Total Package.
Back then, all they had was those potbelly stoves.
What a text. Look at you can look at Total Package's text. They're all less than 5 words, and I kind of like that. Short and to the point.
He's pressed for time.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the Total Package.
Maryland stopped that flag helmet just like Mizzou stopped gold pants. That's from Kevin at the lake.
Yeah, they stopped the full wraparound, but it's still a big part of their aesthetic.
Suits.
Transform your story at Illinois Recovery Center. Illinois Recovery Center, the team, believes in the strength of every individual's journey to recovery. Whether you're taking the first step or continuing your path, the IRC's dedicated team's here to support you. Why? Choose Illinois Recovery Center. The holistic healing approach, expert care and guidance, safe and welcoming environment, tailored programs for lasting recovery, and top-notch facility and accommodation. The IRC builds the unwavering determination to thrive beyond the shadows of the past. Whether you've made the life-saving choice to seek help on your own or you want to be prepared for the other end of an addiction intervention with a loved one, the chance to learn about addiction recovery is available to you at the Illinois Recovery Center in Swansea. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. Doug, you know anything about our title sponsor?
I do. Brown and Krupin.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one I'm looking for.
Yeah, they're the absolute best. Superior legal services, and they value client services as well. You know what else they do? They treat their clients and employees like gold. They've been voted one of the best workplaces for many years. Brown and Krupin realizes that happy employees are the key to providing the best client experience. If you have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, you need justice, and Brown and Krupin is right there to help you through that. Probably a very difficult time in your life. So you need people who handled this since 1979 in St. Louis to be right there on your side. You give them a call for a free evaluation. I'll give the number, 314-222-2222. They'll talk with you on the phone, one of their lawyers. They've grown to become one of the largest personal injury firms in the entire Midwest. They have more than 250 legal professionals now. One of their lawyers will talk it over with you on the phone. Maybe you want to go into the office there on the Hill. That's great, too. And they will talk about your case, and if they think you've got a strong case, they'll go ahead with it, and they work on a contingency basis, meaning there's no upfront cost to you. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. Here's the number again to call, 314-222-2222, or you go to brownandkrupin.com and make sure you let them know you heard about it. Here on TMA, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Past results are no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own accord.
Schaefer Door, sponsor the text inbox. The name is spelled SCHAEFER, door.com. You can call our text number they set up just for TMA listeners, and that number is 636-782-3608. It's Schaefer Door, who services all kinds of garage doors for service and new installs. Jason Gosrow at Schaefer Door Company. They set aside Monday morning standby service for those doors that break over the weekend, and they service commercial doors as well. So if you run a business or warehouse with big, tall doors, Schaefer is experienced in these types of jobs. Schaefer Door, a Clopay master authorized dealer, online at schaeferdoor.com. Installation, repair, commercial, residential, it doesn't matter. Work with Schaefer Door. Sponsor the text inbox on TMA, 636-782-3608. It's Schaefer Door Company, sponsor of our text inbox. Doug, I had this story from the St. Louis Business Journal yesterday. Did you have a chance to take a gander?
I didn't.
It was written by Nathan Rebelke.
Okay. Nate?
Anybody read this story?
Well, we haven't heard what the story is yet.
Did anybody read the St. Louis Business Journal yesterday?
Not yesterday.
St. Louis dwarfs Kansas City in size, but Americans have been hearing a lot more about the region's smaller cousin after the Rams left for Los Angeles in 2016. The reason? The Kansas City Chiefs. The mention of Kansas City in major U.S. publications has skyrocketed in recent years, fueled by the rise of a team that has won 3 Super Bowls since 2020. The NFL, since the Rams moved to L.A., has only grown in stature, billing itself as the, quote, last big tent in America. You like that? The last big...
I don't mind it.
The Chiefs, with its titles, have become the NFL's darling, having hosted the 2023 draft and being at the epicenter of pop culture with tight end Travis Kelce dating superstar Taylor Swift. That's all brought more than championship parades. It's giving Kansas City, the 31st largest U.S. market by population, a massive stage to showcase itself to national audience. Media mentions of Kansas City in major U.S. publications, those with circulation of more than 500,000, totaled 282,940 in 2023. Those are mentions of Kansas City. 282,940 in 2023. That's according to analysis conducted for the Business Journal by St. Louis digital marketing agency Elasticity. And that is 67% more than the 169,363 mentions of St. Louis in the same period. Elasticity's data found a substantial decrease in media mentions for St. Louis in the years since the Rams left town. That is from Elasticity in the St. Louis Business Journal.
Yeah, well, we've said here before, it doesn't feel like you're a major city without an NFL team. It just doesn't. It's clearly the number one sport in the country. And if you don't have a team, if you're not involved in that, you're on the outside looking in.
Dr. Patrick Risch, talking about the NFL, says it's amazing how they've been able to create this year-round cycle of news. And the article notes that St. Louis and Kansas City are often equated with each other, even as St. Louis has a larger population and economic output. 1/4 of the nearly 600 people surveyed by the parent company of the Business Journal said Kansas City is St. Louis's most similar metropolitan area because of its geography and proximity. The survey was conducted as part of Advance STL, a year-long exploration of the issues that hurt St. Louis's reputation and how the region can recast its narrative. While Kansas City's population's grown this decade, it would still require several more decades of similar growth to reach the size of St. Louis. The St. Louis metro has a population of 2.8 million and a GDP of $179 billion, compared with a population of 2.2 million and a GDP of $146 billion for Kansas City. But the smaller size hasn't stopped Kansas City from overtaking St. Louis in media coverage in major publications such as the New York Times, Washington Post, and Wall Street Journal. Since the start of 2020, media mentions of Kansas City have outpaced St. Louis in 41 of 56 months. Quote, the Chiefs have introduced a whole new generation to Kansas City, said Barnett of Elasticity.
I just totally agree with that. Like, you don't have an NFL team, you're destined to get just run right past, and then it's only exacerbated when you have both what the Chiefs do on the field and then having Taylor Swift at the games every Sunday. I mean, if it was like the Panthers equivalent were across the state, I don't think it would be as bad, but you have the total polar opposite where it's been the best team of the last decade.
Best team, best player, biggest superstar.
Yeah, I mean,
they've become America's team now. They're taking that away from the Cowboys.
Well, I'd venture to guess that even if St. Louis still had a football team, Kansas City would be mentioned more over the last 2 years.
Probably so.
Yeah.
So not having a football team has nothing to do with it. It's just that they won 2 Super Bowls, and they show Taylor Swift every time she shows up. Every paper in the country is talking about her.
Well, the data goes back to 2016.
Oh, I thought it was 2023.
Well, we'd be doing better. We may not still have all the glitter surrounding Kansas City right now, but we'd be better off than we are. I saw a story in today's STL today that the Hyatt Regency there by the Arch, now they're in financial trouble. They may go under. I mean, we're watching.
That used to be the Adams mark.
Yeah, we're watching a city die right in front of our face. Just absolutely crumble and die.
Slowly, like Edgar Allan Poe?
Not so slowly. It hasn't been slowly. It's been real fast. And it's very sad because I don't know what's going to bring it back. I don't know what it would take.
You going back to Channel 4?
Channel 4's not there either.
Yeah, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought something that kind of was uplifting at the end of the article was the conversation they had with Mayor Jones and Sam Page. Tashara Jones said, if a private owner wanted to bring a team to St. Louis, I'm sure we would be willing to have discussions with them, but we haven't heard anything from anyone regarding the possibility. So I like that because that's showing like initiative and ambition.
At least she's keeping us up to date.
If they wanted to move here, we'd consider it, maybe.
And then Sam Page, I did not respond to the request for comment.
Yeah, what you would expect, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, if they could have like maybe, was given a few options of what it would be.
No, there's no chance we're in line for an NFL team. Not a chance.
You ever been to a Battlehawks game?
I have been, and the fact that they get 25,000 or so does not mean that some NFL team is going to pull up stakes where they are and move here. It's not happening.
Boy, it's gotten so bad, I forgot who Sam Page is.
Guys, we have a soccer team in the 30th best league in the world and a target in Midtown. The city is thriving. That's from Sniffin' Holes, who believes there's communists on Twitter celebrating an Auntie-Anne's.
Yeah. People for Pretzels.
That's what the group is called?
Probably.
People for Pretzels?
Yeah.
And they're
the People's Pretzels.
And they're North Korean communists or Chinese?
I don't know. Sniffin' Holes, you'll have to call in.
Okay. We need to get to the bottom of that.
That guy is a loser. We have 6 Applebee's, the Battlehawks, a 20-year-old radio station that's been demoted to HD2 internet radio. And a lady in the arrivals lane who blows a shrill whistle to every tourist entering our charming city. Best, that's from advocate for 2 more Boston markets and another Edward Jones office off Highway 94.
You know, that is interesting that some people's first greeting into St. Louis is essentially doing a NASCAR pit stop in the departure lane at Lambert.
Yeah, hurry up or you will get yelled at. Your car might even be pounded on.
There must be a lot of money in this city. There's another bank going up right next door to us here. There's one that just built 2 blocks down the street.
Yeah, they keep building
I mean,
banks.
I don't know how many banks you need in this city.
Especially when people do most of their banking at home now.
Yeah,
From their phone.
Not me.
How many other cities have 2 top golfs? Thanks, that's from the 314. How about that, Doug?
One of them of which is not doing well at all. One of them is one of the highest producing ones in the nation, and the other one struggling.
If we had a TMA softball game at Heine Miney with celebrity guest Stacey Nelkin and her big suck pouches, it would be talked about in every major publication. That's from the self-made stay-at-home Laduma.
Well, that's something we could do something about. So maybe this is on us to prop up the Lime area.
You like the term suck pouches?
I'm not even sure what it is.
I like it.
Boobs, I believe.
It's not a pouch.
What you said.
Maybe that would
Suck
be our
it,
thing.
Doug.
Okay, stop it, Jimmy Ballgame. I was thinking about Jimmy Ballgame and Donnie Baseball. Would you guys please start calling me Dougie Radio?
Sure, if you want it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're nothing in this business without a nickname.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gay for Doug.
Okay, stop it. Well, I guess it's an idea. We could start putting together softball games with washed up former B-list actors and actresses.
Sounds great to me. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'd like to be called washed up.
They do it during the All-Star game.
I'm sure one day I'll be called washed up.
Those people aren't washed up. Those are usually A-listers, aren't they?
You have to define A-lister.
Current big star.
I don't think any current big stars playing that thing.
Well, I didn't mean to trash that.
JR will be in studio also, by the way, today. JR's coming in.
Oh, Willie, in this studio here?
That's how important this show is to him.
Yeah, that he's in here. Think about that.
Not the fact that he has a podcast and is interviewing Berube later.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Come down to the Lake of the Ozarks. We are getting 2 brand new casinos and a $300 million entertainment resort. We've got big-time dough investing in this area while St. Louis is celebrating a new Scooters on the Landing. That's from Scooter himself.
Oh. Yeah, you have to vote on that casino, I think. I saw that when I voted yesterday. That's one of the amendments to allow them to have that casino.
Did you vote 2 on Amendment 2?
Did you vote 2 on Amendment
2? Or yes?
2 or yes?
Well, my votes are private.
Your
how I
options.
vote.
Just let us know. Did you vote yes or no on the sports gambling?
But I just said my votes are private, how I vote. I'm sorry to disappoint you with that.
Are you that embarrassed by it?
No, but in general, I'm
Why do you care if anybody knows who you vote
I
for?
support sports gambling. I don't have any problem with that.
All right, there you go. You said yes.
I didn't tell you how I voted.
I'm getting tired of driving over to Illinois when I want to make a bet.
Well, sorry. Maybe you shouldn't be betting.
Again,
if it's a big
don't
hassle.
tell me what to do. That's why I don't know why this is still a thing. People are saying the money's not going to go to schools, so I'm not voting for it. Why do you care if it's going to schools? You either want to gamble, or you don't want to gamble. Why do you care what people do with their money?
Oh. Well, they keep saying they're guaranteeing it's going to schools, just like they did with the casinos.
Yeah, but even if it didn't go to schools, why would you say that's why I'm not voting for it? Why do you care where the money goes?
Let's bring Jeremy Rutherford in. He's here. He's probably got to do that podcast, so let's bring him in, Doug. It's brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Jeremy Rutherford taking 2-part questions, 314-881-TMA5. Tough one last night for the Blues. Oh, what a glorious scoring opportunity with 40 seconds left. But alas, Schenner couldn't finish it.
Find the handle.
Would have been
Bounced
nice.
over his
Get yourself a point.
Yep.
Give the... holy crap, it's a ruckus out there.
Hi, JR.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jeremy Rutherford. What's going on? Is there a fight out there? Were you fighting somebody?
Yeah, I beat up Iggy.
Nice.
You got
fight
the
right in the hole.
South hat on.
Yeah, a little Lancer action here.
Okay.
Fight. Lancers.
Don't ask me a fight song.
Crusaders.
Cody Schrader.
Fight Lancers and be Crusaders and go fight. Win.
Did
Lancers?
you go to Lutheran South?
I did. And, Scotty Warman, our good friend, went to Lutheran North. So every time Lutheran North puts it on South, I get a text from Scotty. And
Oh, do you?
I still have nightmares. We played a running back at Lutheran North back in the mid-'90s, and his name was Dietary. And he beat us up, so I can still, to this day, 49 years old, hear the PA announcer say, Terry gets the carry. He's to the 20, the 10, touchdown.
I like that, Terry gets the carry.
Were you playing? Were you on the team?
I was, that area on the sideline over by the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you were on the bench?
Yeah.
I bet in October they called him Scary Terry.
J.R. Harrison's brother Master has been waiting for you.
Uh-oh.
J.R. Cairo 0 goals in his last 6. We're doing the same thing again.
It's over.
But he's had some chances. He's played all right.
Yeah, no, I think he's played pretty well.
Yeah.
Last night he had that shot on goal. They want more shots out of him that led to the rebound goal by Brandon Saad. He's using his speed. He does need to shoot more, like Drew Bannister said the past couple of days, but I think overall they like what they're getting from Cairo.
It's always surprising to me that they have to keep saying, shoot the puck more.
Unbelievable.
There was a sequence last night, I think it was in the third period.
5:38 left in regulation.
Where they had 2 or 3 different guys could have shot, and they just keep passing.
I was just actually looking at that play in the fine break room here, and just to look to see what happened, because it was Buchnevich to Saad, to Suter, back to Saad. It was 5 or 6 passes. Now, you could review it and say, okay, well, he didn't shoot it because he was falling. He didn't shoot it because he didn't have a lane. But at some point, it's got to get on net. 5 minutes left to go in the game. So, I tell you what, you've heard the fans yell shoot. That was the loudest in 20 years of covering the Blues I've ever heard the fans yell shoot.
And is that right? They're not wrong. It also drives me crazy. They get late in the game, and then they'll say, well, now we just got to start putting rubber on the net. Put everything in it. Why isn't that always...
Yeah, don't do it early. Just do it late.
Always the idea. Why only late in the game when you're down by a goal?
Well, it's just like a basketball game. You're calling timeouts with the last few seconds, or making substitutions last couple seconds. Everything happens at the end. It's that urgency thing, and talk about it in hockey too.
Harrison's brother Master's not happy with your response. Keep in mind, he's not happy with the show in general. He says, wow, last night he had a shot on goal. What a player.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the big picture. Yeah, do they want him to have 6 goals at this point? Sure. But I think what we've seen from Jordan Kyrou the past couple years, the inconsistency, just a few games in here, I think they're okay with it.
Broberg seems to be around the puck all the time, and he fumble F's around a lot. What say you, Imperial? That's from Chairman Stephen Wildwood.
Boy, they're down on the note this morning.
That's what happens.
Down on the show and down on the note.
Down on the show has been going on for a long time. Down on the note is a little more intense this morning.
Boy, if you've got a problem with Philip Broberg, I think you might have problems, because this guy has been really good. And so, are there a few fumble the puck? Yeah. But this guy is breaking up plays a lot. Cut some video the other day. Did a piece at the Athletic, and this is a really good find for the Blues.
Is he their best defenseman right now? Who is Imperial?
Yeah, no, I think it's speaking of Imperial. Well, there's no worse feeling than logging into the navigation and seeing that you're 45 minutes from the station, and my hit starts in 45 minutes.
Oh, is it that far to Imperial?
Is it really? Yeah, it's about 45 in the traffic. This 2-step. You guys are way before the traffic, But no, with him being the best defenseman, I think so right now. I mean, Colton Parayko last year was great. Justin Falk's been really good this year, too. So I think it's that Broberg-Falk pairing.
And Hofer has looked really good. There's not a chance that he's going to split time with Bennington, is there? You think that closer to 50-50 than what we might have thought earlier?
I guess at the beginning of the season that Hofer might get 5 more starts than he did last year. I think he had, 29 last year, so maybe he gets a few more. But I think it's a situation. I was surprised the other night when he got the back-to-back starts, but it was coming off the shutout. But I still think Bennington's going to get the load. I mean, a couple goals last night that were tough to handle for Bennington, but I think he's still clear-cut, 1A.
I still miss Jake Allen. He gave up 8 last night.
Oh, yeah. Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Tough one. Yeah, hey, I wanted to tell you guys, too, speaking of this crummy show that...
God.
Easy.
That's not me. That's not my words.
No.
I wanted to tell you this a couple weeks ago. So the game's over. You get done writing your story. You're driving home at 11:30. What do people wind down to on their drive home from Enterprise Center to Imperial?
Oh, some smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz.
Not some smooth jazz. Some HD2.
Yeah.
Been listening to the old shows with you guys. Last week, drove home from the hockey game. Guess what I listened to on the way home?
What?
It was Iggy on the fly trying to come up, see if you guys can remember this, come up with some smut literature that he was making up on the fly.
Oh, yeah. Pretty erotic, wasn't it?
Somebody, I don't know if it was Plowsy, said, let's see if you can do it, freestyle here. And he was trying. I don't know that I was buying.
You probably did a fine job, though.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Two-part questions are coming in fast and furious. Festus Fluffer, not with a two-part question, but just wants you to know that he fell in love at Imperial Lounge.
Wow.
What is that? A big bar down there?
It used to be. I think it's shuttered now, and for probably good reason. I did wander into the joint one time and sat down and had a lass sit on my lap, big lap, and she said, word for word, Tim, can you help me make my rent?
That is hot.
Was this a dancer or just another customer?
I think she was employed by the place.
Yeah, help me make my rent. Bennington hasn't played well. Play Hofer. That's him, Harrison's brother master, and he's just not in a good
rational fan.
And now he's not happy with Stephen Wildwood. Nobody should have a problem with Philip Broberg. Block that moron. So now he's mad at Stephen Wildwood. That's Harrison's brother master. Wow.
The Bennington hate. What? What is this?
Which nightclub do you hang out mostly now in Imperial? Where do you dance?
Well, I gave the girl $200, so we still talked. She made the rent, and
that covered the
rent. In Imperial, it does.
They have a big bar scene down there?
Not a big bar scene, no.
So you haven't really found
you
your
have
spot.
to venture out of Imperial if you want to find.
Where do the Imperial folks go?
I don't even know.
They go down to Festus, see this fluffer?
There's a couple spots. Twisted Tavern. I don't even know. Are you going to Applebee's on a Friday? You get your hall pass. Applebee's.
Is this the Sherry's Berry salesman that you guys have in studio? Have JR stand up and do a little spin for us stay-at-home dads, scrolling the secret fan page for trim. Thanks. That's you guys want to hear about the time I found a pet squirrel. That's the name of the texture.
Yeah, no, that's
You come in here wanting to talk hockey and you get this.
It's their stay-at-home dads trolling or scrolling a secret fan page for women?
Looking for trim.
That's amazing.
Don't go to Imperial.
Let's see. Chairman Kurt, you're texting into the program from behind the Pissa.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if JR had headphones on, but for accuracy's sake, I believe it's Club Imperial. And the dancers used to solicit quarters so they could play Nickelback on the jukebox.
Ooh.
I've been standing in line.
Nice. They really wanted to dance to that.
And they did spaghetti wrestling there.
That seems wasteful.
I was at an establishment across the river one night, and two fine ladies were dancing. And when they were done dancing, all of a sudden, kid you not, came and sat on my lap. And I was flabbergasted. This never happens. How did this just happen to me?
They liked you.
It was unbelievable. I thought I had something going. My hair looked like Jackson's back in the day.
Yeah, wonderful hair.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I realized why they did come sit on my lap. And that was because the entire stage was booked. There was nowhere to sit except for these two tree logs here. And the next act up that they wanted to get a front row view for were the smaller, less tall ladies.
Oh, that's a kink, Doug, and we don't kink shame.
This is Sassy Cassie was there? Is that who you're talking about?
Friend of the show.
Huh. So there's a chance the girls didn't really fall in love with you? They were just looking for your wallet?
At first, I thought so. Yeah. But then I realized they just wanted front row seats for the next show.
I see. A swinging package of dynamite named Sassy Cassie.
Don't play that whistle.
JR, I know it's still really early, but do you see any exciting talents that could come up through the system this year? Also, have you ever tried to get some traction with younger members of the media by showing them a picture of yourself in a thong? Doug, that's from Arbor Day.
No, you can't do that at work. That's not something that would allow me to keep my job.
You don't go in the press box seat to seat showing people pictures of yourself in a Speedo from 30 years ago. You say you don't. You're telling us you don't do that.
I'm trying to convince you that I don't. I'll say that. I'll try to convince you. Anybody coming up in the system to get away from the thong talk here? Not really. I mean, you have Snuggerud sitting at Minnesota. You got Dvorsky everybody knows about. Bolduc's here. I don't know that there's anybody sitting in Springfield waiting to come up that would excite you.
They gave the extension to Jakey.
I thought we'd talk about this at some point.
Yeah, we had to get to it after the thong pick question. What do you think? Was this the defense mechanism from the Revenge of the Oiler?
Yeah, no, Doug came out yesterday and said that this wasn't done to prevent people from offer sheeting Jake Neighbors. I think Drew Bannister said that too. I did in my bold predictions a few weeks ago. I said that Jake's going to sign an 8-year deal. I just feel like he's a guy who's going to be a Blue for a long time. But this makes sense. This really does. And I actually went up to him a couple weeks ago and I said, hey, here's my prediction. He said, 8 years, I'll take that. And I said, a lot of these guys take the shorter term deal. And it works out better because then it expires when they're 26, 27, and then they get a pretty sizable deal at that age. I said Steven Stamkos did. I named a couple other players, and Jake goes, I'm not Steven Stamkos. so he gets the 2-year extension, but he's got this year left, so that's 3 years total, and doing the math there, and 3.75 gives him some security. And the big thing that Doug Armstrong said was, go out and play your game. Be that physical guy. Sometimes guys go out there, they're waiting for a next contract.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that, right? So this should help him.
Jackson said he thinks he's going to have a heavy sweater.
Going to have a C?
Maybe an A to start. Might transition to a C.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Jackson. Put you on the spot. Let's say the C were free in a couple years. Who knows how long Braden Shen will be here. He's certainly deserving of it right now. But it's between Robert Thomas and Jake Neighbors. They got to make a decision for that C.
I don't know the locker room dynamics. I don't know what things are like day in and day out.
You're not as connected as you used to be.
No, yeah. It's been tough recently. I'm not sure anyone's really all that as connected as they can be, but I think if Neighbors is more of that leader, the more vocal leader, even if his play doesn't match up with Thomas's, I'd give it to Neighbors.
Okay, two-parter. 10 seconds left. Nick Van Exel's in the corner.
Oh, gangster hooping.
Do you give it to him or do you take it to the rim?
Take it to the rack. Try to get yourself a whistle.
He was quick with that one. Yeah. It seemed a lot more confident.
A lot of the one Van Exel. No offense, taking the last shot.
Well, the captain almost always has to be the best player, right? It's almost always.
Not necessarily, right?
Usually is the best player you got.
Yeah, I mean, you look at McInnes, Hall, those guys who've worn it here.
Yeah,
it's that way a lot.
But wasn't that one of the things that kind of irritated 91 back in the
day? Yeah, definitely. I'll never forget, talking to Tarasenko about that situation, and he said, I should have got to see.
Very direct.
Okay, well, they gave it to O'Reilly, and I think most people believe that he was deserving of it. But yeah, that was one thing that really tore him up.
He's also the guy that you want to come out and talk to the media after you just lost a playoff game or the season's over, or every night, really.
Yeah.
Every night you want someone out there to be a spokesman for you.
Yeah, and I think...
I'm not sure Tarasenko would have been the greatest.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I mean... he had his nights where he came out and did what he was supposed to do in that regard, Doug, but I will remember one night, I think there was a goaltender whose number was on the board, and that means when you come in, the players look at the board to see if they need to do media obligations, and Tarasenko went up and wiped the goalie's number off the board.
Oh, no way.
Now, maybe he's taking care of him. He doesn't think he should talk after the team got beat or something, but maybe not the most media-friendly spokesperson.
What's the health situation on Robert Thomas after last night?
Yeah, we're going to find out. I'm going to head out to practice here shortly, but he took that shot. It looked like off the right leg from Pionk last night, and played a couple more shifts left. Drew Bannister said x-rays. We did not get word. It's a lot different than baseball. A guy leaves a baseball game, and suddenly in the post game, there's Lance Berkman telling you that he just had an MRI and things look good, and he'll be back tomorrow. But in the hockey world, we wait for practice the next day.
Yeah, the skate, Doug. The skate is sacred. Carlos Spice, who we are asking a two-parter here, JR, brought to you by Montana, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. He says, JR, can they bring back Tony Twist because this is a soft hockey team? And second question, did you catch any of LeBron's Bring Your Kid to Work Day after the Blues defeat, or were you busy watching more real sports? That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener.
Tony Twist. Well, the game has changed, but I will say you still need some toughness, right, Doug?
Sandpaper.
Sandpaper, we call it.
It would be kind of weird to see somebody who's 45 or 50 years old skating around punching people out.
Well, and I will tell you, Tony Twist could probably still do it.
Oh, I think he could, yeah.
I've been out to his house for a couple stories, and still intimidating. In fact, I'll tell you one time, it was last year, I had to go out there to work on a story with him. And I get to his house, and he still seemed kind of busy. He's doing a lot, in his garage. And he goes, "Hey, come here. See this massage chair? Why don't you sit down right there?" Suddenly, I'm in Tony Twist's living room, like in this $8,000 massage chair, completely locks me up, and I'm in there for 20 minutes. I don't know what he's going to do to me. I don't know if I'm going to get out of here. But
it hurts sometimes. They put certain things on it. Hurts.
I couldn't believe I fit into that thing.
Yeah. Did you feel better when you left?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so he got to do it. But yeah, so then you go out to the garage, and literally there's a piece of plywood on 2 horses. So that's the table that he's got out in the garage. And you're doing the interview, and about every 2 minutes during a 2-hour interview, he goes, "Hold on a second." He walks outside the garage, finds a good piece of grass, and just puts the biggest loogie you've ever seen.
No.
Doug.
Why is he spitting so much?
Yeah, then he comes back in. Okay, all right, where are we?
Oh. What is he doing now?
Doug.
He has a windshield company doing that. Yeah.
Windshields for car replaces cars.
Yeah. So we got a windshield from him at one point. But yeah, he's a workaholic on that stuff. Again, during the interview, the phone rings, he answers. Windshield broke. What is it? 89 Trans Am. Okay, you need a 2X2 3T windshield. We'll get it delivered Friday. Okay, bye. All right, Jeremy, what's the next question?
Let's see. This is my favorite JR segment ever. That's from Mark Hanna, presenting sponsor of the Jeremy Rutherford
No, we
segment.
missed him. I was looking forward to seeing him today. Where
Jackson works with him because he's tall.
It's part of the reason. He's also incredibly knowledgeable when it comes to your finances.
Has a wonderful beard, voice, seductive.
And much like Jeremy Rutherford is incredible at conveying his message.
Look at
Jeremy does
that.
it through digital media with The Athletic. Mark Hanna does it with financial wisdom, but both do it oh so effectively, and that's why we love both Mark Hanna and Jeremy Rutherford.
Yeah, 314-889-0503 or go online at evergreenstl.com. It's Mark Hanna. He sponsors Jeremy Rutherford every Wednesday here on TMA. JR, always enjoy the conversation. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks.
There he is, Douglas Jeremy Rutherford.
Look, they're going to see this, so you better finish.
Thank you, brother. Finish on your chest.
Oh, no.
Hey, go pay somebody's rent. I'll be back.
Most inviting lap in local media.
He has the most inviting lap in local media?
He told 2 stories about people coming to his lab.
Yeah, that is true. I guess so. There's something to that. Send your emails in for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. It's coming your way here in about, 20 minutes. Then Jackson and I go down a hallway. You felt good about your questions yesterday, and you were right to feel good about them. How do you feel about them today? This is important, Doug, because it's a wide berth Wednesday.
I feel good. Not as good as yesterday's. But I still feel good about them.
Okay.
I still feel good about them. Yeah,
So
I do.
you
truly.
only bring it strong on certain days?
No, I think I brought it strong today.
Okay. Is this going to be another weekend wrap-up show?
Today's a wide berth Wednesday.
Yeah, wide berth Wednesday.
So whatever. Everything's on the table.
Yeah, I think it's a good mix.
Okay.
It's a nice mixed bag.
All right.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I think we all are.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag, but it's a wide berth Wednesday. All right, let's see what we got. We got a break. We got to close out the Fisher Window and Door Store, 8 o'clock hour. We'll have the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. Coming up in the 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance, 9 o'clock hour. You'll listen to TMA, presented to you by Brown and Krupin.
Craving a fiesta for your taste buds? Welcome to Rosalita's Cantina, your ultimate Tex-Mex getaway. Indulge in their mouth-watering tacos, queso-smothered burritos, and the best chips and salsa imaginable. Dine in on their beautiful patio, majestic bar, elegant dining hall, or grab it to go. And don't forget to check out their location at Enterprise Center. No game or concert is complete without nachos and a margarita. Rosalita's Cantina, where the sunshine never ends. Learn more at rosalitascantina.com.
If you talk to someone who has had a kitchen remodel, say, from Calier and Thompson, they'd probably love to show it to you and say, look what our place looks like now. Calier and Thompson does it, and they do it right. Also, football season is here. You might want to update that man cave. Nothing better than sitting in a comfortable man cave, and Calier and Thompson can make it look like the best place in your house. You want an appliance, maybe an appliance for the holidays. You're thinking about that. They've got the top brand names. They got Bosch, Thermador, Wolf, Sub-Zero. Got them all. Old Stacy is the appliance guy. He'll do you right. Matthew and Eric are the appliance installers. Also, they are looking to hire some lead contractors. If that is your line of work and you'd like to work for the best company in town that does this sort of stuff, Calier and Thompson is the one to look for. They've got almost everything, and it's all right there in-house. No need to go to 5 or 8 different places to remodel one room. With Calier and Thompson, the countertops, appliances, lighting, flooring, hardware, plumbing, electric, you name it, it is all right there in-house. They will take absolutely great care of you. Calier and Thompson on Manchester and Baldwin, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Calier and Thompson, come home to quality. Online at CalierandThompson.com.
Hi, this is Chris Pondoff from Illinois Recovery Center. As someone who battled alcoholism and addiction for 20 plus years, I understand the dark places you can find yourself stuck in. Alcoholism and substance abuse takes a heavy toll on your body and your mind, but you can overcome it. Start your journey to recovery at the Illinois Recovery Center, a rehab treatment center that provides comprehensive and customized rehabilitation addiction treatment. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, please know that there is hope. Visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com today.
Thinking about selling your home, but not thrilled about going public? Check out Compass's Private Exclusives with Jeff Lotman. With Private Exclusives, your home is shown to a select group of serious buyers. No public listing, no days on market, just real offers from real people. Their network connects you with top agents and qualified buyers, so your home gets the attention it deserves without all the fuss. Selling your home can be simple and stress-free with Compass Private Exclusives because your home is special. Call Jeff Lotman, your Compass agent today to find out more, or visit the Lotman Group online at JEFFLOTTMANN.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here right now with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. I made the switch to start working with you, James. It couldn't have been easier to make that switch to start saving money.
Well, I appreciate that, Tim, and we appreciate your business. Yeah, this is the time to save money. My goodness, we're all feeling it at the grocery store, at the gas pump, etc. So if you've noticed that your insurance rate has gone up, I want to stress how easy it is to get a proposal from us by going online at carltoninsurance.net.
Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency online at carltoninsurance.net.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge, newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood, or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door, online at fisherwindow.com.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
TMA brings you the third annual TMA Trivia Night, Friday, November 15th at Tim's alma mater, St. Gabe's, starting at 7:30. All kinds of trivia, including sports, entertainment, St. Louis-centric, TMA round thrown in there too. All hosted by the guys from TMA. Get single tickets, tables of 8, or anything in between. Tickets are on sale now and cost $50 a person. Portions of the proceeds will go to St. Gabe's. Ticket includes food from Heavy Smoke Barbecue, plus beer, canned cocktails, and seltzers from Show Me Beverages while supplies last. Please drink responsibly and feel free to bring your own food and beverages too. Find out more at tmastl.com. KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
It's the Brown and Krupin Morning After.
On KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Jackson on the 20. Not the kid from Home Improvement. It's nice. Boy, when Acoustic Sessions came out at Busch Stadium on September 29th, as Billy Joel began to play the riff from We Didn't Start the Fire, that place was up for snatch grabs.
It was. Big moment for our city.
Stuck in the bathtub.
Yep. That was like Carole King with
Good
the lyrics.
Good, very good lyrics.
That's up there tied with they play for the fans, not money, in terms of best lyrics and songs we play coming back.
But the person who wrote that probably believes it.
I agree with you, Doug.
Yeah, I think the person writing the lyrics believes that. I don't know if the person singing it believes.
Probably.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with both of you.
Now the acoustic sessions, they're singer-songwriters.
Song needs updating too.
It does. It's really choice. It's the 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance 9 o'clock hour. The program is called The Morning After, and it's presented to you by Brown and Krupin. Jackson and I go down the hallway for a program presented to you by Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota, and that's called Balloon Party, and they won't be happy. The Blues lost. Jackson's probably going to talk about college athletics, and that's not going to play well.
I wouldn't think so.
I'm trying to think what else.
I didn't watch any of the game last night.
Any of the Blues game?
Nope.
Lakers won?
Yes.
Bronny score?
No.
No.
Did he play?
Yes.
Missed a three-pointer. Had a rebound.
Yeah. Played for 3 minutes. End of the second.
Did he look like he belonged out there?
I don't know. I guess everybody with a Twitter account will tell me, though.
Oh, I thought you watched it.
Bunch of scouts. Of course I watched it.
Bunch of scouts? They're scouts on Twitter?
You can't
what's
judge
your scouting report?
Can't judge a player off 3 minutes of playtime. Ask me after the first season, and I can give you a better, or maybe even half the season.
Okay.
But I don't really want to engage because that conversation is totally bastardized and no longer in good faith, so I don't want to even have it.
Oh, be turned.
Nah, stay at discourse.
Okay. Sounds like you're upset now.
Nope. Just accepting, I guess.
Okay.
You know what I found last night? I was talking to you about World War II, that documentary. And I just started thinking about my Uncle Donnie, who died in World War II. And for the longest time, this is probably not interesting to anybody else, but for the longest time, I thought he died in Germany. Because I remember as a kid, he had sent home, before he got killed in the war, he sent home what I thought was a knife with a swastika on it and a Luger, which you would get in Germany. I guess it turned out that a friend of his who was over there said, send me something from there, I'll send you something from Japan. But my uncle, who is 80-something, and he's starting to have dementia, I was talking to him about 2 months ago, and I said, where did Uncle Donnie die? He said he died in Okinawa. And I said, okay, I thought it was Germany. He goes, no, it was Okinawa. It was right toward the end of the war. It was almost over. If he could have got through that last battle, he'd have been home. But then I was on a website that talks about people that died in World War II, and this guy posted something about my Uncle Donnie. And there's a picture of, I've been to Jefferson Barracks many times to see my mom and dad, but I never went to his gravesite. And it says, died in Guam. And he posted everything about my uncle, about he saved the lives of some guys in our, I think it was the 77th Infantry. He saved guys in our troop. He died going from the beach. So I found out so much from this one person that had posted. It was like 14 years ago this guy posted this. So I found out last night that he actually died in Guam, which was one of the bloodiest battles over there. So I just thought it was kind of cool that I got to learn a little bit about him.
That's interesting. Yeah. You can get military records of your family members if you apply. There's a website that you can send in names and get military records of them.
Even a nephew can get something? Doesn't have to be immediate family?
I think so. I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of nice of that guy to post that. It was a long time ago, but
yeah.
It was on a site that just posted things about veterans.
Well, my generation didn't have to fight a war, thank God.
Yeah,
just
me
missed
neither.
Vietnam, just missed it.
So did I.
Yeah, I guess my generation for the most part, you know. I mean, if you were born in the 80s, though, you were...
Well, they could have, but now with the all-volunteer military, you didn't have to go if you didn't want to. Before that, you didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
But a number of people did. Pat Tillman, all-timer. Yeah, I thought the Sound Story, the sweet spot of people we interview on Sound Story, I guess you probably experienced this too, people who grew up during the Vietnam era, a lot of that anyway. Certainly we've had people who were in Korea too. And how that was such an eye-opening time. I always think that the greatest change in mindset of decade, at least within the last 70 years, because perhaps it would be different different going from like entering the 40s to exiting the 40s. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you go from you're going in, coming out of depression into becoming a superpower after the 40s would be how things went into the 60s and how the country exited the 60s. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The greatest change, more so than 70s, 80s, 90s, aughts, teens.
Probably so.
20s might wind up. I don't know. Keep an eye. I mean, you look at December 31st, 2019, and already what we got in the 20s. It's live.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Kennedy assassination felt like kind of the end of innocence for the country. And then there was a great distrust of government afterwards, and the hippie movement and the anti-culture movement that played such a role. Then the other political assassinations.
Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly changed the country for sure.
In this documentary, and I've talked about Churchill before. People disagree with me when I talk about Churchill, about how many people he killed. But in this documentary, they talked about the Battle of Warsaw, where they weren't getting anywhere fighting the Germans. So it was Churchill's decision, we need to change the minds of the German people to start standing up against Hitler. He bombed Warsaw, killed 65,000 civilians, and then found out there was a community center that was housing 40,000 civilians. And he said, it didn't seem to do anything. We're going to take care of it. And they made the British pilots bomb this community center, killing 40,000 civilians. So he killed over 100,000 civilians. It was his decision.
Well, yeah, there was a ton of civilians killed. Same with Hiroshima.
But purposely. He knew there was no Germans.
Same with the dropping of the atom bombs in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
I love 9:30 to 9:50 on this show. It's garbage time, so you guys pull Ken off the bench and just let him chuck up 3-pointers from his chest until the buzzer runs out. Doug, that's from caller Buzz, and he won the Milagro Tequila Lister.
I'm sorry that, you'd much rather get penetrated in your butt than listen to a story about
come on.
a war hero. I'm sorry. It was more personal. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have brought it up, but I thought it was kind of cool that I got to find that out just from somebody who posted on a website.
Yeah.
And took his time out just to talk about my uncle, who I'd never met.
Penetration comment.
Well, that's all he does, is talk about getting his butt penetrated.
Oh.
I had a great night last night. My wife stuck a pencil up there.
Oh.
We can't kink shame on this show.
I can.
I'll kink shame that. That's just gross. And being proud of it.
You'd be fine if he was penetrated by the pencil, but the issue you have is the boasting.
No, they're both kind of stupid.
Kink shaming a little.
I'll kink shame that because I don't like him.
Yeah.
Fair.
I don't like his post. I shouldn't say I don't like him. I've met him. He's all right.
Is he?
Except when he gets drunk and starts belligerent me about not believing the phone incident.
Oh, this was at the trivia event.
Yeah. I was a little overboard.
Yeah.
I like him personally. Him and his wife are good people.
But he really let you have it at the trivia night?
Well, he was drunk, so I take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't leave me alone.
No. Because of the phone. He wanted you
I just want to walk around and talk to listeners and say hi and maybe have a beer and... Hey, here's the guy. Tell him, hey, he don't believe the phone. Yeah, he put that phone up there, man. Hey, I'm the one that put it up there, man. It's a true story. I can't believe you don't believe it. Go away.
I'll admit, I was drunk.
Okay.
It's a war, man, and your take on Churchill's so wrong. Please move to China or Venezuela, you commie. Churchill quite literally saved the world with American power. I'm so disappointed in you, Comrade Iggy. Go play with Comrade Burkett.
Oh, that catches straight.
Worse with tobacco.
Yeah, I'm objecting either. I was telling you it's true. I mean, sure, every war is going to do things that piss people off and kill innocent people, but he purposely did it. I can see dropping a bomb, which you think is housing, Taliban, and it turns out to be just plain Iraqi citizens. I get that. It's a mistake. But to purposely kill 100,000 people, just maybe they'll turn on Hitler if we bomb them? Yeah, that's that.
Warsaw was in Poland.
Yeah, but the war was in Poland. Germany had taken over.
It was.
Germany had taken
right
over
through Poland.
Germany had taken over Poland.
Yeah.
39, right?
Yeah.
The invasion of
That
Warsaw.
was one of the first countries they rolled over.
Yeah. So he
Polish
purposely
put up
killed 100,000 people.
Mild defense, but not much.
And you never won that war if America didn't jump in, so don't pat yourself on the back, Great Britain.
Oh, come on! They were a huge part of the win.
They were part of it. They were losing until the U.S. got involved.
Well, yeah, but they still stood up to Hitler. They were the last country that did, really.
Yeah, they stood up. They had no choice because they were bombing England.
Well, the other countries had a choice, and they surrendered. England never did because of Churchill.
Yeah, Italy jumped in. They changed their tune.
Italy was on the side of Germany.
But then they changed once Mussolini got thrown out.
Right,
then
when they
Italy
saw
joined
this
the fight
end
against
was
Germany.
coming. So you're going to take the side of Italy over England in World War II?
No, I'm just saying until the U.S. got involved. England was getting their ass kicked.
They, not necessarily. They were fighting back hard.
Yeah, they were fighting back, but they were losing.
Some would say Russia was the real MVP. Well, the Germans' choice to fight in Russia in the winter.
That's just going to add to Orson Woods Wacko's text.
Well, I mean, that would be denying the
Russia,
truth.
Russia was a big
If Germany didn't choose to fight in Russia in the winter, things might have gone differently. That was a bad choice.
The Russians lost like 20 million people in World War II.
Yeah. Listen, the fight continued on with Russia right afterwards. However, they were a major part of the victory, the Allied victory in World War II.
Yeah, the Red Army was huge. And they got involved. They had their women fighting.
No, we do that now.
Yeah, but back then it was unheard of.
It was, yeah. It's like the first day of school for history students.
Yeah, a little history lesson for you from 9:30 to 9:50. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Didn't mean to take shots at Churchill, but...
Well, you did. You
But
deliberately
when I
did.
talked about that, people said it never happened. But then I saw it on the documentary. You could say you read it online. Yeah, I read it online. But then I talked to one of the pilots that had to drop the bombs, and he didn't like it.
You talked to a pilot?
The documentary was interviewing a pilot who had to drop the bomb on this community center and killed 40,000 people.
There were 40,000 people in one community center?
It was a huge area, huge arena or whatever they were. I don't know. The whole area. Go watch the documentary.
It's a lot of people in one community center.
Well, it is. They can hold 40,000 people in a football stadium.
Kurt, can you clip off Jackson saying Russia is the real MVP?
Yep, you got it.
Told you, Vladimir Burkett. Russia's the real hero of World War II. Turn these two off. What's next? Pol Pot was good. Mao's great, too. That's in the worst with Wacko Dog. He's losing his mind. Now Chairman Steve is not doing well.
Oh, no.
I had a lot of beers at the game last night, and this is not helping. Mayor Don, what the hell is going on right now?
That's a fact. I mean, without Russia, like...
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't mean to get like super personal, but like a lot of my ancestors were really, bad spot there. And if it wasn't for Russia, I get that's funny. The Russia MVP, that will be a funny drop, no doubt. But I mean, that's just a fact.
Yeah, I mean, the Germans were very close to taking over Moscow, and then Russia got involved and just kicked their ass.
The last 10 minutes have been the equivalent of asking your creepy uncle an open-ended question at Thanksgiving like, hey, World War II, any incoherent thoughts you want to get off your chest? Doug, that's glove blogger Tom Traven.
It wasn't incoherent. I know what I was saying.
I thought we were replaying a Stupiracy episode.
Do you have one on Churchill? It's not a conspiracy, it's true.
Turns out he was the bad guy all along.
He kills many.
I hadn't heard that until this show.
He kills many of these Polish people. Hitler did.
Brother.
You know what I don't understand about that? They had cameras there. This is all real footage. So there's cameramen there filming the SS taking these Jewish people in trains. Wouldn't you think the guy filming would say something like to the Americans, like, "Hey,
they were probably Nazis.
They're gathering up all of these."
They were on the German side doing it.
So it was all Germans doing the filming?
They didn't really have an independent media in Nazi Germany. So I'm sure it was the Germans taking the film.
Yeah, it must have been, because they didn't say anything. You'd think he'd say something. Hey, what are you doing? They go talk to the U.S. Hey, they're taking all these Jewish people and taking them on trains to concentration camps. Do you want to do something? They didn't know that was going on until after the war.
They didn't have the nightly news either. Not like they could instantly broadcast that to the world.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who was doing the filming. Because obviously somebody was, because it's real footage. Email yet? I'm running out of history. I'm running out of history to talk about.
History lesson, no.
Yeah, I just want it to end so I can shut up.
Just letting it breathe real nice. Let's see, Doug, I need to tell people about mentality. Feeling like you've lost your edge if your energy, focus, or drive isn't what it used to be? It's time to get back on track with Mentality Health, your local experts in testosterone replacement theory. Visit Mentality today at lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com. Your first step to reclaiming your vitality. Use the promo code RISE upon getting to the website. That's R-I-S-E. It's R-I-S-E for the promo code. Unlike online-only services, Mentality offers in-person consultations with board-certified physicians who've treated over 25,000 men. It's FDA-approved treatments, safe, effective, and tailored to your specific needs. Mentality's treatments help you regain energy, boost mental clarity, and enhance your overall performance. From personalized treatment plans to ongoing support, we ensure your journey with us is effective and comfortable. It's Mentality. At lowtusa.com, enter promo code RISE upon going to the website. That's lowtusa.com. Jackson, we're only 15 minutes away from Balloon Party, and it's a Wide Berth Wednesday. What do we got here? This is here we go. You know, this is here. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we got a wonderful question set, wide ranging, all under the umbrella of sport. And I think it could lead to some fun conversation, stimulating if nothing else.
And we're role-playing as Eli Drinkwitz and Dan Lanning and Brett Bielma and Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, they'll be putting yourself in the mind.
It'll be like when Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon would put the little cardboard cutouts in front of their face.
Right,
I think that's what we're doing today.
It's similar, and I think it'll be fun, informative. Mm-hmm. Maybe not the latter, but it'll certainly be fun.
Are you going to acknowledge to the audience that you didn't watch the Blues game, but then talk about Bronny's rebound?
I don't really want to talk about that. I think there are actual NBA topics to talk about, but I won't be discussing them on Balloon Party.
Tatum going off.
Yeah. The more I talk about it, the more, bastardized it gets. And I just rather not engage sometimes. Really? Yeah, I really do love it. Like, watching the game last night, I was like, God, it's so good to be back. And it really puts a big smile on my face. So I'm done kind of letting it,
Does the NBA have the shortest offseason of any sport?
That's a good question.
I would think NHL.
Yeah, I would.
They both end right around the same time, and the NHL starts up a little early. Just a little.
Like
Doug,
10 days.
Do you mind me saying a skosh?
I don't mind it.
10 days early. So, yeah, I think actually NHL might be. But they also have more space between some of the games. I don't know. It's probably NHL.
Okay.
But they're both probably the two shortest.
NHL ends around the middle of June or so.
Aye.
Same with yeah.
July, August, September, 4 months off.
Maybe it'll be longer next year because WNBA, I think, is adding more games. So they don't start until after the WNBA is over.
Okay.
A little fun fact.
It was a nice little fact. And the WNBA is adding a couple more teams.
Oh, are they? Coming to St. Louis?
They're not coming to St. Louis, no.
No, cities that are much smaller than St. Louis.
Well, Toronto is one, right?
No, there was another U.S. city that I think is smaller than St. Louis.
Yeah. Well, I think they have to be associated with the NBA team there.
Not anymore, market, they don't.
Right? They don't?
No. Connecticut Sun. No team in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Vegas,
yeah.
All right. Color me confused.
Well, I'll fill you in on the WNBA, too, as we go along whenever you need some answers. I'll help you out.
Anything you're mad about there?
Nope.
Okay. Angel Reese do anything over the last couple of days to catch your ire?
I mean, she does something every day. She's on social media more than anybody I know, but doesn't want the attention.
Yeah.
There's these guys that do this thing on Instagram. It's like number 50 of Angel Reese. They're just going to Angel Reese's best three-pointers of the year and just so nothing but air balls.
And you enjoy that.
It's pretty funny. It is pretty funny what they do.
All right.
Nope. No Angel Reese talk today.
Okay.
There you go, Doug.
She's fine.
Jeff Lotman's with Compass Concierge, and with Compass Concierge, you can take your home buying or selling experience to the next level. Whether you're preparing to sell or want to enhance your new space, Compass Concierge has you covered. No upfront cost, need fresh paint, new carpet, light renovations, home staging. Compass Concierge has you covered. Unlock exclusive benefits, get your home market ready without upfront costs. Increase your home's value hassle-free. Ready to elevate your real estate experience? Contact us today to learn how Compass Concierge can transform your home. Go to JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Yeah, JEFFLOTTMANN.com. It's Compass Realty. Jeff Lotman of Compass Realty. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. And we got Buck Swope, and we got JV Golf Coach Tide, and then we got the Ghost of Gangster Pete's hat making a little Sunday charge.
Speaking of Buck Swope real quick.
Oh, what do we got?
He sent me a Best in Show DVD.
Oh, you're going to enjoy it so much.
He sent me a Best in Show.
Do you have a DVD player?
My PS5 plays DVDs.
There you go.
And there you go.
You're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's got special features. You know, nice to have the actual DVD.
It's Rich Gould's favorite movie.
Shout out to Buck Swope.
Brand new. It's not even out of the package.
I know. Shout out to Buck Swope.
How about Buck Swope?
Gosh,
very kind of him.
Is that urinary catheter peeking out of your Depends, or are you just hiding the throbbing pork loin Ruth's Chris used to season their bone and ribeye with a hint of kidney water after it's been dragged around the sticky toilet seat at the Family Arena men's room?
That was a question? For who?
I don't know. It's just in the prompter.
Ruth Chris has had a steakhouse at the Family Arena?
Oh, that meat's a bit bland, Doug? Well, why not spice things up by flipping that slab over onto the tank lid, where you can season it with some earthy dung dust.
Dung dust?
Slow brewing on the back of the bowl. Drizzle it with the brown oregano that is born from its fecal foliage. Foliage. Think about it, Doug. That's from Logs of Plenty, a.k.a. Lexington Steel's knee brace.
Logs of Plenty. He's new.
He can't be new. He has a win this month.
Oh, he does? Logs of Plenty?
Yeah. I think you voted for him, actually.
Probably not.
I think you did.
Don't pat yourself on the back, Great Britain. Thanks, Nan Young, #1 Asian intern Brian Henshin, a.k.a. ASMR Winston, non-denominational Churchill. You can't see me right now, but I'm standing and whispering. Anyways, I like him personally, but he was belligerent me. I just wanted to walk around and talk to people. Leave me alone.
I think I did say belligerent me.
Yeah, you did. Brian Henshin.
I've been an Uber driver for many years, but I recently gave a ride to the hottest guy I've ever seen on Saturday night, October 19th, 2024. Mizzou homecoming. The town was packed with cuck simp dads getting screamed at by their bratty daughters. The city was buzzing because the football team had barely squeaked by a dreadful opponent. Enter a 47-year-old hunk and his wife. He was the strong, silent type. Picture Jason Statham with a little bit more lopsided head.
Oh.
I pulled out all the stops to try and get him to open up to me. I desperately wanted to put my mayo into his coffee, if you know what I mean. I even offered to let him hold my lapdog. He sat with the quiet confidence of a St. Gabe's alumnus who almost graduated college. I longed for him the way a senior citizen craves a post-jerk menthol after putting in an honest 3 hours of work. Alas, it was not meant to be. I would not be rolling around naked in his office chair watching him make love to his wife because I forgot that dog hair is a major turnoff. Until next time, my diminutive dandy. That's from the Columbia, Missouri Uber driver.
Columbia, Missouri Uber driver.
After Jackson gave me a disbelieving wow after a text regarding all living creatures breathing yesterday, it shook me, fellas. It shook me to my core. Had I let him and Dougie radio down? I went back last night and got to review the game tape, and while he clarified Pugs and HD2 listeners as struggling to breathe, my text was following the initial comment expertly produced and saved below. His initial comment was clearly, "Are those the ones that can't breathe?" And I wanted to clarify it for Jackson because I'm trying to move past his St. Charles County hate. Shine on, sweet prince. You are a ray of sunshine, and you give us hope for the future with your good nature and persistent can-do attitude. That's from Shooter McGavin, the vice president of the Birth of Foreign Languages.
Thanks, Shooter.
Shooter McGavin, vice president of the Birth of Foreign Languages.
Pepper and Genie made its glorious debut on April 25th, 2022, when the lead was Iggy's bitching about not being allowed backstage to meet Samantha Fish before the conversation naturally pivoted to a deep dive about the host's own gay tendencies. Plowsy admitted watching transsexual porn and then detailed how his girlfriend Madison discovered all the gay DMs that he'd exchanged with Deke Dotem, on with messages like, "Can't wait to see you there, Boo Bear. Can't wait to top you, bottom you, what have you." Iggy naturally retold his story about sitting in a hot tub doing key bumps with that hot piano playing twink Chase Richards and how he regretted that they didn't cuddle afterwards. This was an unusually long sode, clocking in around 26 minutes as they found time to cover potty training as Iggy called back to the shocking revelation that Plowsy had wet his bed the night before. Plowsy then recounted that his neighbors had witnessed him peeing in his kitchen sink through the window, while Iggy spun a yarn about his Russian neighbor who he offered to help put her groceries away and discovered that her 4-year-old child had taken his clothes off and pooped on the rug. Before signing off, Iggy asked the listeners to stop signing up his negrill111 at AOL.com email account for daily Proverbs emails, while Plowsy teased that tomorrow's show would include a recap of his upcoming meeting with his Hubbard boss, where he was going to ask if it was okay if he got into pornography. Pepper and Genie was never given its own podcast feed and was simply force-fed to everyone subscribed to TMA, making it rather difficult to go back and find specific sods. You would think it would be easy to simply search Pepper and Genie within the TMA app, but fortunately or unfortunately, Plowsy changed the spelling of Pepper and Genie each day.
It's true.
During its glorious 7-month run. Doug, that's Buck Swope with a little lesson.
Okay, Buck Swope with a little lesson and a nice email this morning.
And finally, another strong day of content on the TMA. Do they want me to unsubscribe? Why are they playing these terrible interviews all day app last Eve? You dug so deep for interviews, you're damn near in the basement. Last night gave us a sampling of the best you have to offer. First up, a snippet from the July 18th, 2023 episode where Iggy went full-blown silent treatment during a 90-minute interview with a retired adult actress turned completely free of charge show contributor who took mild offense after being told she was ghosted because Iggy had to scurry on over to Kohl's to get a dickie before a hot date with a married listener's wife. And then, boom, straight into August of 2022 when you released the riveting 6-part interview with a chick Jackson sat next to in Sharon Ryan's Econ 4 class who interned at the St. Louis Historical Society for Urban Decay. She ruffled a few feathers when she theorized St. Louis's largest export was talented young professionals looking to leave St. Louis to experience a city with a tad more diversity than what they can find at the St. Louis Polo Grounds, where clerks at First Community Credit Union hobnob with other guys claiming to be in quote-unquote banking. Then there was the April 9th, 2012 classic where a caller sat on hold for 2 hours to share the ultimate shortcut through the hill to avoid the Taylor Avenue train crossing. And somehow disqualified the caller to win the Circuit City prize pack consisting of 2 River City Rascals batting practice tickets.
God.
That train is a bitch, though.
And let's not forget the drama of 2021 when Doug was on vacation. Tim was hiding in Florida trying to escape the industry. Plowsy's home on wheels wouldn't start. And he emailed KG to tell him his shoulder was sore. So he had local city planner Larry Greenstein in as a host. That's right, folks. Larry spent a full 180 minutes breaking down the most, quote, historic sidewalk crack on Cherokee Street and the culture it brings to the area. Just Larry and 3 panelists arguing over sidewalks and whether the one at 9th and Geyer was better for pedestrian flow than the one outside Jody's Pizza. It got so heated, station management had to cut to commercials before things got ugly. Look forward to his next appearance under the Inside STL Podcast Network, where he'll explain why Lindbergh Boulevard has so many car dealerships and why the unreleased Maroon Freeze Sode might be too localized to publish. Keep up the good work, Doug. That's from the ghost of Gangster Pete's hat.
Ghost of Gangster Pete's
my goodness.
hat.
And that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today.
Strong batch.
Yeah, it was. Tip of the cap to the audience.
You know what? I'm going to go a little different today. I like Brian Henson. I thought he was short and sweet, to the point, got in, got out, went back to covering the Colts. Brian Henson.
Wow. Great emails, all 3 of them. Swope, a little breakdown was good. I mean, my vote was for Logs O'Plenty until Gangster Pete's hat came in and gave a recap of 5 really great segments we did. I'm going to go with Gangster Pete's hat.
I'm going to go with Gangster Pete's hat as well. I was back and forth. I feel like I could have voted for any. But Gangster Pete's hat, the ghost of, has just closed the gap to 5 to 3 now. Okay. And at this point, is anybody going to bet against Ghost of Gangster Pete's hat?
I don't know who could. Buck Swope, he's there every day, though.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. He's always in the mix. Yeah. All right, well, Doug, we got to go. Jackson and I got to deal with the situation down the hallway. It'll be fine.
Okay.
The Jets are undefeated. You can't get too mad about that, okay? It's just a rough second period. It's going to be fine. Time for us to shut it down. For Jackson Bennett Burkett, for Chairman Kurt, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Sullivan Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been TMA, presented to you by Brown and Krupin.
Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball! Tired of it!
The show's so great. Well,